In the time that followed, the group talked about many things. For the most part, Lu Xing acted as a listener. Every now and then, he would cut in with a question when something confused him, much like a student listening to a teacher's lecture. Pei Xiaogong and his three companions all came from great clans. They had received guidance from their elders since childhood. They had stepped into the demigod realm at an early age. Their knowledge and experience in this field far outstripped his own. After all, back when he attended classes on Blue Star, his teachers had never covered the precautions for breaking through to demigod. Once the meal concluded, Pei Xiaogong stood up with a smile. Everyone, if you need anything while you are at Ziwei Academy, feel free to reach out to me. Of course, mutual aid is what matters most. Brother Lu, I have added you to the group chat. Please accept the invitation shortly. You can post anything you need in the group later. We are all geniuses of the same rank, and there will be plenty of opportunities for cooperation in the future. Lu Xing nodded, offering neither confirmation nor denial. In this world, divine kingdom wars were far more complex than simple mutual invasion. Bound by the rules of divine kingdoms, deities could not launch cross-realm invasions. For instance, a demigod could almost never invade the divine kingdom of a pseudo-god unless they paid an unimaginable price. Yet there were few such restrictions for opponents of the same realm. If one realized they could not win a fight, they could simply call for reinforcements in the main world, asking other deities of the same rank for assistance. What had once been a one-on-one clash would then turn into a many-against-many battle. In truth, once most divine kingdom wars progressed to their later stages, no single deity could control the overall situation. Victory or defeat depended largely on one's background and the power of one's clan. Furthermore, if one failed to destroy the enemy's divine kingdom core in a single decisive strike, they would face endless retaliation afterward. Having heard all of this, Lu Xing made up his mind. He would never start a divine kingdom war unless he possessed a 100% chance of success, not even 99%. I should attend more gatherings like this, Lu Xing thought to himself. Compared to scions of great clans such as Pei Xiaogong, he was like a smart youth from a small town. Aside from his natural talent, he lagged behind in many other respects. He had learned a great deal over this single meal. For example, humanity had 10 major clans spread across the entire Great Xia. 3 of them had their main households on Ziwei Star, the Fu, Morong, and Qin clans. Since this was their territory, he ought to try his best not to provoke students bearing those surnames during his time at the academy. Moreover, though demigod counted as one major realm, it contained subtle subdivisions. Spawning 5th order life forms marked the first turning, 6th order life forms the second turning, and so forth up to 9th order life forms, making 5 turnings in total. 4 human immortal cultivators. These corresponded to spirit transformation, void refinement, body integration, Mahayana, and tribulation transcendence. For martial artists, they aligned with martial emperor, martial sovereign, martial saint, and martial god. Before ascending to true god, the rules of divine kingdoms capped the maximum power of subjects within minor worlds at the 9th order, barring any further advancement. Lu Xing also learned of major historical events he had never heard of before. All in all, he had reaped enormous gains. Upon returning to his residence, Lu Xing immediately accepted Pei Xiaogong's invitation and joined a small 4-person group chat. Then he began thinking about how to increase his income. Once he arrived on Ziwei Star, he would have to purchase large quantities of new strategic resources, which would consume vast amounts of divinity. His next goal was therefore to boost his earnings as much as possible. When his divine kingdom spanned merely more than 300,000 square kilometers, he could earn hundreds of billions of faith points each month. Now, with effort, he might push that figure to over 1 trillion. Nearly midnight. I will wait a little longer. Lu Xing glanced at the time, deciding to hold out for the new keyword arriving tonight. A single outstanding keyword could reshape his entire plan. He could afford to wait. Buzz. The clock struck midnight. His X-rank talent, keyword Lord, burst forth with dazzling radiance. Far more powerful than any previous display. The commotion rivaled the moment he had obtained the SSS rank diligence rewards. Had another SSS rank keyword appeared? Lu Xing tensed, staring intently at the illusory panel within his mind as words materialized one after another. X rank talent keyword Lord activated. Talents refreshed. New keyword generated. X rank keyword fusion. Fusion. At midnight each day in the main world, you gain 1 fusion attempt. Merge 2 keywords of compatible affinities with a chance to produce a higher rank keyword. Daily fusion limit, 1 attempt. An X rank keyword? Lu Sheng recalled the original description for keyword Lord. It generated a new keyword each time with completely random rank. There had never been any mention of ranks being limited between F rank and SSS rank. Given fully random generation, spawning an X rank keyword was entirely plausible. Lu Sheng realized he had vastly underestimated how overpowered keyword Lord truly was. With this keyword in hand, what do top-tier talents and great clan direct heirs amount to? Nothing. Lu Sheng's heart surged with wild joy. The fusion keyword. Before this, he had possessed many low-rank keywords whose bonuses to his divine kingdom were minimal, almost negligible. That was no longer the case. With fusion, he could combine two underwhelming low-rank keywords into a far more useful higher-rank keyword, making full use of every single one. If he gathered enough keywords, he could keep merging them until he obtained SSS rank once. Others could only possess one keyword for their entire lives, yet he would potentially wield countless SSS rank keywords in the future. Calm down. I must not get carried away just yet. Lu Sheng took several deep breaths and took a cold shower to quiet his overwhelming excitement. Even so, his heart still beat 30 to 40% faster than normal. What I lack most right now are resource-focused keywords. Lu Sheng quickly scanned his collection. His earning capacity was impressive for someone of his age, yet compared to direct descendants of mighty clans like Pei Xiaogong and Gu Qinghan, who enjoyed immense support from their families, the gap remained enormous. Take Pei Xiaogong, for example. On the very day he opened his minor world, he loaded numerous S-rank buildings and wonders. The operative word was numerous. Lu Sheng did not know the exact quantity, but the fact that Pei Xiaogong had broken through to demigod in less than 200 days, bolstered by family resources and his own talent, spoke volumes about the value of resources. The highest rank resource keyword I own is only A rank, all things thrive. Beyond that, I only have E rank, growth acceleration. Lu Sheng sighed. His stock of keywords was still too small. Still, those two ought to share decent compatibility. He would give them a shot and hope for success, aiming for a solid S rank keyword. He shifted his will. Two spheres of light representing all things thrive and growth acceleration drew near and fused completely into one. Blinding light erupted outward. X rank keyword fusion activated. Fusion successful. New keyword generated. SS rank keyword universal abundance. Universal abundance. The production rate of all resources within your minor world increases by 10,000%. P.S. Some readers might notice this synthesis path differs from earlier descriptions and think the author has made a mistake. That is not the case. If keyword fusion is possible, then keyword decomposition will logically appear later in the story. Reading the description of his new keyword, Lu Sheng gasped. Good heavens! Merging an A rank and an E rank keyword had yielded an SS rank ability, multiplying resource output by 100-fold. Had their exceptional compatibility caused such a powerful result? Lu Sheng committed that observation to memory. Then he opened his smart wristwatch to browse investable resources, buildings, and spirit plants. Unlike all things thrive, which only accelerated plant growth, universal abundance boosted the output of every single resource. That included the celestial nectar from Penglai Wonderland. Since that nectar was his best resource for improving his subjects' innate aptitudes, Lu Sheng had no intention of selling it. Many other resources, however, opened up huge opportunities. First on his list was an old reliable, the D-rank spirit plant iron sea vine. His minor world now spanned 13 million square kilometers, 7.3 million of which were ocean. Calculations run by Xiao AI showed the ocean could sustain roughly 100 million iron sea vines before excess numbers damaged the marine ecosystem. That quantity was more than sufficient. Iron sea vine cost 1,000 faith points to acquire and sold for 2,000 faith points. Normally, it matured once every 100 years, so 100 million vines would yield a profit of 100 billion faith points per cycle. Under universal abundance, they matured once each year. In other words, for every day that passed in the main world, Lu Sheng gained 100 billion faith points from iron sea vines alone, equivalent to 1,000 strands of divinity. That added up to 30,000 strands of divinity each month. Without hesitation, Lu Sheng spent 1,000 strands of divinity, purchasing 100 million iron sea vines and planted them across his oceans. 100,000 strands of divinity remained in his account. He kept searching on his smart wristwatch. Having finished his ocean-related investments, he turned to land-based opportunities. After 2 hours of comparing the effects and profits of various buildings and spirit plants, he settled on an investment plan. B. Rank building, Spirit Honey Workshop. Input 3 varieties of spirit flowers: jade, stamen spirit flower, gold, stamen spirit flower, crimson, stamen spirit flower, to produce the special medicinal substance, jade spirit honey. Operating at full capacity, one Spirit Honey Workshop yields 1,000 jars of jade spirit honey every 100 years. Price: 1 billion faith points per workshop. Jade spirit honey moderately boosts cultivators' spiritual energy absorption rate, heals injuries, enhances physical appearance, slightly extends lifespan, and serves as a primary ingredient for many medicinal pills. Extremely valuable. Selling price: 100,000 faith points per jar. Lu Sheng went all in and purchased 10,000 Spirit Honey Workshops. Buffed by universal abundance, his minor world would produce 10 million jars of jade spirit honey every year, worth 10,000 strands of divinity when sold. That represented substantial profit. Naturally, profit was only one reason for his purchase. Apart from decent returns, the 3 spirit flowers required as raw materials for the workshops were cheap and easy to cultivate, with negligible costs. Furthermore, the workshops produced jade spirit honey automatically. Subjects only needed to feed in spirit flowers on schedule, no complicated labor required. He pursued profit, yet he also had to consider the overall state of his divine kingdom. His minor world had only recently expanded, and its people were already heavily occupied. If he introduced investment buildings requiring complex craftsmanship, it would greatly reduce time spent on exploration and population growth. Outcomes Lu Sheng absolutely wished to avoid. Combining jade spirit honey and iron, Seavine profits. I earn 330,000 strands of divinity every single month. Lu Sheng grew excited. 330,000 strands of divinity. That figure excluded additional gains from stone, milk bamboo, artifact forging, and other sources. For reference, Penglai Wonderland itself was valued at roughly 2,000 strands of divinity. Each month, Lu Sheng could afford to buy more than 100 such wonderlands. Treasures once far beyond his reach were now readily accessible. Once more, he marveled at the power of Keyword Lord. A single stroke of good fortune could send his foundation soaring. This is only my first fusion. If I keep performing one each day, the future looks wonderful. A broad smile spread across Lu Sheng's face. He projected his consciousness into his minor world. With a thought, 10,000 spirit honey workshops and batches of the 3 spirit flower varieties materialized near human cities. He issued a divine edict. These are spirit honey workshops. Feed them the 3 spirit flowers to harvest jade spirit honey. Tend to them regularly and store all produce. Do not consume any without my command. As soon as the edict spread, government bodies across the Yin Kingdom sprang into action, selecting suitable personnel to manage the workshops. Following major policy reforms, the Divine Kingdom no longer operated chaotically. Examinations selected talented individuals for specialized fields. Powerful recruits joined the Divine Kingdom military. Those gifted in pill-making entered the Pill Alliance to concoct medicines for the realm. Array masters formed dedicated teams to research and develop new formations. Everyone served in positions matching their strengths. Naturally, among such a large population, many ordinary folk still performed basic labor, feeding spirit flowers into workshops, supervising stone golems mining ore, and collecting forged weapons from Greyrock City. Necessary work that did not advance personal power or skill. Truly promising. Floating high above, Lu Sheng looked on with satisfaction and considered another angle. As his power grew, he would need ever greater resources, requiring ever more investment. Inevitably, that would consume his subjects' time. Was there a way to handle large-scale basic labor without occupying his people? An idea flashed in his mind. Technology. As a transmigrator hailing from 21st century Earth, he knew firsthand how technology benefited humanity. AI automated much programming work. Factories adopted large-scale mechanization, and fully unmanned production facilities had appeared. Efficiency surged while human labor requirements dropped sharply. He need not fear spreading his focus too thin. Keyword Lord and Fusion would pave his path forward. Thanks to diligence rewards, scientific research faced no bottlenecks. Perhaps he could even surpass mechanical, themed deities before long. Unfortunately, I have few technology-related keywords for now, but I can lay groundwork in advance. Lu Sheng resumed searching the shop. Thanks to 200 years of influence from his wisdom-boosting keywords, his subjects possessed high intellect. They ought to grasp foundational theories quickly, avoiding the earlier mishaps where some folks struggled to operate simple devices. Lu Sheng selected a large batch of mechanical constructs and clicked Purchase. Ding. Insufficient balance. Please adjust your payment method or apply for installment payment. From that day onward, besides waiting for daily keyword refreshes from Keyword Lord, Lu Sheng attempted one keyword fusion every day. On the day after he obtained fusion, he merged A. rank, Beast Tamer, and F. rank, Beast Tongue Mastery, producing the S. rank keyword Beast Sovereign. Beast Sovereign. Innate bloodline suppression over all beast-type life forms. You understand the languages of all beasts, including dragons, insects, goblins, and more. Beasts under your command receive a 1000% attribute bonus. On the third day, S. rank, Berserk Physique, fused with C. rank, grow stronger in battle. Yielded the SS. rank, Eternal War Demon Body. Eternal War Demon Body. Whenever your subjects sustain injury, all their attributes rise drastically. Greater wounds bring greater boosts to combat willpower and statistics, up to a maximum of 10 times their original power. In peak combat condition, they gain immunity to all negative status effects and hold a high chance of breaking through their current realm. On the fourth day, S. rank, Infrastructure Enthusiast merged with S. rank, Divine Craftsmanship, to create the SS. rank, Sacred Realm Construction. Sacred Realm Construction. All building speed within your minor world increases by 10,000%. All subjects gain a 10,000% talent boost for architectural work. Upon completion, every building automatically rises one quality tier. By the fifth day, a thought occurred to Lu Sheng. The X. rank keyword, Fusion, had itself been spawned by the X. rank, Keyword Lord. What would happen if two X. rank keywords fused together? Might they birth an even higher rank ability, more overpowered than Keyword Lord? Yet he worried. What if the fusion erased the core function of daily keyword generation? His past 4 experiments showed that fusing lower rank keywords could discard certain original effects. No, this is far too risky. After brief hesitation, he chose not to attempt it. Keyword Lord was his most vital asset. He would not accept even the tiniest chance of losing it. Turning back to his keyword panel, he pondered briefly and combined C. rank, Civilization Acceleration, with C. rank, Inherited Wisdom, to obtain the B. rank, Civilization Pioneer. Civilization Pioneer. Overall civilization progress speed rises by 300%. Newborn subjects carry a small chance of awakening ancestral memories and inheritances, including martial arts, cultivation techniques, technology, knowledge, and crafts. On the 6th day, Lu Sheng tried merging S-rank Twisted Power and A-rank Purification. As the two spheres of light drew together, they produced a strong repulsion, flying apart just like opposing magnetic poles. X-rank keyword Fusion activated. Fusion failed. So it can fail? Lu Sheng narrowed his eyes, unsurprised. Judging purely by their names, Twisted Power and Purification obviously held poor compatibility. He had only wanted to observe what happened upon failure. The result reassured him. Keywords were neither destroyed nor lost when fusion failed. Days 7, 8, 9 passed. A full month went by. Lu Sheng kept merging keywords with good apparent compatibility and obtained many powerful, practical top-tier keywords. D-rank Water Element Affinity Plus, C-rank Underwater Respiration, A-rank Tide Walker. Tide Walker. No need for respiration. Move freely within any aquatic environment, unhindered by local conditions. S-rank Realm of the Underworld plus B-rank Soul Mastery SS-rank Lord of the Departed Souls. Lord of the Departed Souls. Possesses innate bloodline suppression against undead creatures. Undead forces fighting your subjects can exert less than 1/10 of their full combat power. All subjects gain permanent immunity to all curse-type attacks, and mental power is multiplied tenfold permanently. S-rank tenfold Spiritual Energy fused with SS-rank Spiritual Energy Revival, yielding the SSS rank unique trait title Spiritual Energy. Title Spiritual Energy Unique. The spiritual energy concentration within your small world rises by 10% each year, while the quality of spiritual energy slowly elevates. A-rank Lord of All Weapons plus B-rank Indestructible Diamond Body, S-rank Emperor Soldier Immortal Physique. Emperor Soldier Immortal Physique, Special Constitution Type Talent. Newborn subjects have a high chance of awakening this physique. They master every type of weapon effortlessly as if the weapons were extensions of their own bodies. As their life tier rises, their physical form attains durability comparable to forged arms. Upon reaching the 5th order life stage, bodily hardness matches that of B-rank weapons. E-rank Robust Health plus E-rank Longevity plus A rank vigorous in old age plus B rank immunity to all ailments SS rank peak health and eternal lifespan. Peak health and eternal lifespan. Immunity to all diseases and negation of abnormal statuses, including bleeding, poisoning, debilitation, and more. Physical function remains perpetually at life's absolute peak with no deterioration. As years pass, personal aptitude improves without upper limit. C rank land of fertile multiplication plus E rank accelerated procreation plus A rank peace and prosperity S rank utopian golden age. Utopian golden age. Reproduction rate for all subjects inside the small world increases by 1,000%. Pregnancy carries zero risk. Newborn infant mortality drops by 99.9%. Subject satisfaction reaches maximum. The likelihood of internal strife, crime, and betrayal falls drastically. SS rank ancient primordial spirit beast physique. SS rank grandmaster of formations. A rank blood of the 100 battles. A rank legion sight. A rank apex wanderer. B rank Iron Blood Battle Legion. Naturally, progress was not entirely smooth. Poor choices and mismatched trait affinities caused numerous fusion failures. Even so, the gains from 1 month of fusion remained utterly staggering. Furthermore, every time profit rolled in from his honey spirit workshop, Lu Sheng sold off all spirit jade honey. He reinvested the proceeds to purchase additional workshops until he owned 50,000 in total. His monthly earnings now stood at more than 1.5 million strands of divine power. Divinity, Lu Sheng Divine Core, Demigod's Small World Area, 13,030,000 square kilometers subject race, human subject population, 49,037,261 791 fifth order beings, 6,513,580 fourth order beings, 20,031,981 third order beings, second order beings, laws mastered, law of life 6, 3% talents, X rank, traits sovereign, fusion SSS rank, diligence rewarded by heaven, title spiritual energy SS rank, universal bounty, eternal war god body, divine realm artisan, lord of the departed souls, peak health and eternal lifespan, ancient primordial spirit beast physique, grandmaster of formations, S rank, king of beasts, emperor soldier immortal physique, multitude of races, aberrant force, utopian golden age A rank, title wanderer, blood of the 100 battles, legion sight, apex wanderer, B rank, civilization pathfinder, Iron Blood Battle Legion. Retainers, elementalists 1397 juveniles, stonefolk 319 fourth order, third order, greystone goblins 1117 fourth order, third order. Constructions, S rank spiritual energy refining well times 1, B rank honey spirit workshop times 50,000. Assets, medium grade spirit stone vein, divine power reserves, 510,431 strands subjects generate 0.53 strands of divine power daily. Staring at these wildly exaggerated statistics on his status panel, Lu Sheng's heart surged with excitement. He suddenly recalled overpowered protagonists from novels of his past life and thought their cheat abilities paled in comparison. What does it mean to have an overpowered advantage? This is what a real cheat looks like. Year 250 of the small world. The God Realm population surpassed 49 million and kept climbing. All 13 million plus square kilometers of territory had been fully explored. Human cities dotted every corner of this world, grander than the former Starfall City and Blackrock City. Improved craftsmanship endowed city walls with far greater sturdiness. Additionally, in year 225 of the small world, after unlocking the B-rank trait Civilization Pathfinder, Lu Sheng began purchasing mechanical constructs to integrate scientific principles into his God Realm system. He bought large quantities of low-grade machinery, first-order intelligent automatons, mass-produced energy converters, foundational mechanical infrastructure, maintenance facilities, and bulk raw material stockpiles. These low-tier machines cost almost nothing for Lu Sheng in his current standing. Their main purpose was guiding his subjects toward new technological avenues. Full-scale technological advancement remained beyond reach, given his present capital and population. No matter how intelligent his people were, they could not manufacture objects out of thin air. Even a skilled cook cannot prepare meals without ingredients. Lu Sheng delegated tedious operational work, including material procurement and wear-and-tear maintenance, to Xiao AI. As anticipated, subjects quickly grew adept with mechanical constructs. They excelled at disassembly, assembly, repairs, and routine operation. Yen Nation established formal examinations to identify talented researchers. Machinery gradually took over basic labor. Vast numbers of subjects were freed from menial work, gaining extra time for cultivation and raising families. Stonefolk retainers still handled mining operations. Basalt crystal veins and spirit stone veins possessed extraordinary hardness. Ordinary low-tier machines could not pierce their rock, falling far short of stonefolk enhanced by trait bonuses. Even receiving only 80% of trait benefits, Lusheng stonefolk retainers dominated peers of equal rank. The E-rank fine iron vein is depleted. 1/5 of the B-rank basalt crystal vein has been excavated. Now that stonefolk also receive buffs from Utopian Golden Age, their numbers surge and mining speeds accelerate further. I wonder whether mineral veins are available for purchase on Ziwei Star. Boom. Mid-thought, a deafening detonation erupted without warning. His war voyager shuddered violently as though struck by a meteorite. A powerful gravitational pull dragged his body forward. Lusheng pressed one foot firmly against the deck. Demigod-level divine power anchored his stance, keeping him perfectly steady. What just happened? Lusheng wondered. His waist-hung identification token hummed, carrying Su Yuan's voice. Students, we have arrived at Ziwei Star. Upon disembarking, you will teleport directly before Ziwei Academy. Your identification tokens will guide you to assigned residential quarters. As recommended students, no formal registration is required. Smart stewards inside your dwellers will brief you on Ziwei Star's regional layout. Feel free to explore and familiarize yourselves with your surroundings. A reminder, flight is forbidden across Ziwei Star. Law enforcement teams will apprehend violators, with fines starting at over 1,000 strands of divine power. Good luck to you all. Creak creak. As Su Yuan finished speaking, compartment doors opened. Voices of conversing students echoed across the vessel. Lusheng stepped out into the corridor. We finally arrived. The journey dragged on forever. Without onboard entertainment, I would have died of boredom. Hey, I've heard high-end establishments on Ziwei Star even employ attendants at true god tier power. Want to check them out? Forget that. Spend divine power on God realm development instead. You risk failing graduation otherwise. True. Even though we hold grade A candidates standing now, poor performance can get your rating revoked. Students on the deck chatted. Most scions from great clans across Daxia maintained composure. Some, like Lusheng, hailed from remote planets and could barely contain their exhilaration as they moved toward the massive light gate lining the vessel's side. Ziwei Academy. Lusheng slowly exhaled. This legendary top-tier institute was the dream destination for countless divinities. Naturally, excitement stirred within him. Before creating his small world, his ambitions had extended merely to an ordinary respectable academy inferior to Fangtian University. Entering Ziwei Academy had once felt completely out of reach. Looking back, everything still felt surreal. Brother Lu, Pei Xiaogong, whose quarters lay nearby, emerged and greeted Lusheng warmly. Brother Pei. Lusheng nodded in reply. Hurry along. Fu Qing and the other two already went ahead. Let us wrap up our things and tour the trade district together later. Ziwei Star ranks among Daxia's top 10 planets. Its stockpiles of strategic resources stand among the very best across the realm. I have been eager to see them since hearing tales. Now that we are here, I intend to splurge. Observing Pei Xiaogong's genuine enthusiasm, Lusheng asked in puzzlement. Brother Pei, strategic resources are rare, yet your Pei clan is a great superfamily. Surely you lack nothing of this sort. Ah, Pei Xiaogong waved a hand. Though I am a direct line descendant, I count only as an average talent within my clan. Many can outshine me. Only members designated grade A prodigies obtain full clan backing. My father is a high-tier, true god, yet I am merely one among thousands of his children. We rarely even meet. Oh. Lusheng stared in surprise at this answer. Upon reflection, it made perfect sense. In his past mortal world, many people maintained multiple romantic partners. Within this power-centered realm, true gods possessed immense lifespans and lofty status. Having hundreds of partners and thousands of children came as no surprise. Even great families carry their own burdens. Lusheng shook his head and prepared to step toward the light gate. Pei Xiaogong abruptly grabbed his arm and pulled him back. Brother Pei, what? Confused, Lusheng met Pei Xiaogong's eyes and noticed urgent silent warnings. At that moment, a young man dressed in black approached. As he drew near, students queuing for the light gate halted and spontaneously cleared a path for him. Lusheng's identification token flickered, transmitting the newcomer's status. He hastily stepped 3 paces backward to yield. Grade A prodigy. Su Yuan had explained this long ago. On Ziwei Star, potential equaled status and exceptional privilege. High-rank prodigies could cut lines, occupy the safest and finest housing, receive trade district discounts, and even verbally rebuke lower-ranked prodigies without facing consequences. Should a lower-ranked prodigy dare retort, outcomes would turn unpleasant. Only after the black-robed youth passed through the light gate did surrounding students resume moving forward. Brother Liu, our standing is decent, yet caution remains wise. Provoking such influential figures would only spell trouble for us. Pei Xiaogong cautioned before stepping into the portal. Grade A prodigy. Lu Sheng's gaze sharpened. He too crossed into the radiance. Boom. Blinding light engulfed him. When his vision cleared, no Grand Academy gates met his eyes. Instead, he beheld an energy waterfall, tens of thousands of zhang long hanging down from the sky. Countless strands of law swirled within it. Magma, sacred radiance, stardust, and more. This is Ziwei Academy's entrance. Standing beneath the cascade, Lu Sheng felt overwhelmingly small. He drew a deep breath and walked forward through the falls. Beyond loomed an obelisk piercing the clouds. The monolith tilted against conventional physics, rotating in incomprehensible patterns, defying science yet resonating with divine power. Floating enormous sky islands ringed the obelisk. Each bore inscribed labels marking different zones. Guided by his identification token, Lu Sheng soon reached a mountain courtyard styled with retro aesthetics, yet fitted throughout with modern-era machinery. A small robot stationed by the gate scanned him upon entry, emitting mechanical speech. Detected unknown divinity entering premises. Verifying identity. Verification complete. Citizen of Daxia. Lu Sheng, recommended student of Ziwei Academy, Grade A candidate rating. I am Steward Xiao Fu, tasked with managing your 4-year residential needs. Your standing has been confirmed as Grade A candidate observation ongoing. A reward mail from Ziwei Academy awaits collection. Friendly reminder from Xiao Fu. Please complete your initial evaluation within the Ziwei battlefield as soon as possible. New Academy rewards. Lu Sheng raised an eyebrow and opened his mail. A new notification appeared. Ziwei Academy. Congratulations, student Lu Sheng, on attaining Grade A candidate status. Rewards. 1 million strands of divine power plus 1 S-rank construction redemption token. Rewards are logged within your identification token and may be claimed anytime at the Academy Treasure Pavilion. 1 million strands of divine power. 10 times his prior reward, alongside 1 freely selected S-rank building. Lu Sheng currently owned merely 1 S-rank construction, the spiritual energy refining well. Though limited in capacity and carrying minor side effects, it represented immense strategic value. It was capable of refining subjects' spiritual roots all the way to heavenly spirit grade. If funds permitted after his trade district outing, he would gladly purchase 8 or 10 additional refining wells. Most importantly, the Academy token allowed free choice of S-rank facility. Truly, top-tier institutions delivered extraordinary benefits. Fontian University would surely host ceremonies and require award recipients to deliver public speeches for comparable honors. I shall claim the reward after shopping with Pei Xiaogong's group. First, I will complete my Ziwei battlefield initial assessment. Glancing at the time, Lu Sheng tapped Xiao Fu's head and asked, Xiao Fu, how do I access the Ziwei battlefield? The Ziwei battlefield is a specially created dimensional space belonging to Ziwei Academy. Master, project your consciousness into your identification token. You will automatically enter the realm for initial assessment. Like virtual combat arenas, all battles take place in simulation. Your small world and subjects face zero real-world danger. Xiao Fu replied. Understood. Lu Sheng focused his mind. His consciousness transferred into the Ziwei battlefield. In an instant, he floated within boundless void. A disembodied voice echoed. New student Lu Sheng of Ziwei Academy. Initial assessment covers 2 metrics, subject combat capability and God realm defensive capacity. Initiate evaluation now. Begin. Lu Sheng commanded. Rumble, rumble. At his command, the void transformed into a colossal arena many thousand-fold larger than ancient Roman colosseums. Lu Sheng summoned his full available fighting force, 790 peak divinity stage warriors, 1 martial emperor, 6.5 million fourth-order combatants, 20 million third-order troops, 20 million second-order soldiers. All combat-ready forces of his god realm materialized at the arena center. Dark mist swirled along the circular perimeter, spawning wave after wave of hostile units. Undead knights, flame dragons, specters, human cultivators, elves, artificial sentient beings, and myriad other racial armies emerged. Hostile factions held no animosity toward one another. Upon materialization, they charged collectively toward Lu Sheng's forces from every direction. Form battle formations. Block Western Dragon units. Activate the Sword Extermination Array to slay them before they close in. Deploy the 4 Sacred Beast formation. Spectres and Wraiths press from the east. Griffin Knight archery proves ineffective here. Redirect fire to annihilate elven troops. Forward. Lu Sheng's Godrealm military had advanced notably over the past month. The founding of Yin Nation and Taisu sect brought structured military hierarchy, enabling rapid, clear command transmission. Crucially stood one trait: A-rank Legion Sight, forged by merging B-rank danger perception and D-rank team coordination. Legion Sight creates telepathic mental links across your subjects. Information and vision are shared throughout the network. If any linked individual is targeted, the entire network receives early warning. Link capacity and coverage scale with subjects' mental power. A supreme trait for large-scale warfare. Even armies numbering tens of millions could instantly reposition with flawless coordination. When the first wave of enemy units clashed against Lu Sheng's army, his troops swiftly shifted into optimal formations and deployed countermeasures tailored to each opposing faction. In under 10 breaths, the first wave was wiped out. Lu Sheng's army sustained losses of merely 1,000th of total strength. Boom, boom, boom. No reprieve was granted. Fresh dark mist bloomed along arena edges, unleashing new multi-species enemy contingents. Opposing forces featured different races and greater power, with massed Fourth Order and even Fifth Order foes appearing among their ranks. Kill. Roar. Heh. Countless black fog creatures surged in from all directions once more. Shrieks and howls echoed without end, shaking heaven and earth. Yet Lu Sheng's army showed no fear. Possessing all-seeing eyes and legion eyes, they reassessed the enemy situation and reshaped their battle formation within mere breaths. One formation after another was unleashed without reservation. The fully developed A-rank Slaughter Formation, Nether Dark Evil Great Formation. The fully developed A-rank Defensive Formation, Black Tortoise Mountain Suppressing Great Formation. These 2 A-rank formations, independently developed by formation mages within the Divine Kingdom, would take ordinary geniuses hundreds of years merely to reach minor accomplishment. But under the effect of the SS-rank formation Dao Lord, that time frame was reduced 100-fold. In less than a single month, the Divine Kingdom's army mastered both to full perfection. Puff, puff, puff. Formations spun wildly. Human cultivators unleashed their full power. Monster beasts, giant dragons, goblins, and other incoming foes were ground into meat paste before they could draw near. A Fifth Order giant dragon swooped down, only to be slain with one strike by Xian Yuan. Its 100-zhang-long body was torn apart in an instant. 10,000s of Fourth Order undead kings assembled a sinister formation. Heart-corroding black qi washed over Lu Sheng's troops, yet it had zero effect. Curses, poisons, flame magic. Nearly half of all attacks from the myriad races did nothing against Lu Sheng's army, especially the undead race. Suppressed by the SS-rank trait Lord of Departed Souls, a Fifth Order undead warrior could only fight on even ground against Lu Sheng's Fourth Order nascent soul cultivators. One must understand, much like false gods and demigods, crossing from Fourth Order to Fifth Order represented a transformation of one's very life essence. Logically, even the weakest Fifth Order being could crush hordes of peak Fourth Order foes with casual strikes. But for Lu Sheng, the rules seemed bent. The 100th breath since the start of the Z-Way battlefield, large numbers of 6th Order and even 7th Order creatures began pouring out of the black fog. Driven by overwhelming power and staggering numbers, Lu Sheng's army began to crumble. Formations were shattered by brute force, and casualties surged. Yet as losses mounted, the Eternal Ward Demon Body buff automatically activated. Stats rocketed, letting Fourth Order beings fight with the might of half Fifth Order warriors. Still, this only bought Lu Sheng a few extra breaths. Even with his more than 700 spirit transformation cultivators manning the million cultivator great formation to slay some 6th Order foes, their efforts meant nothing against enemies counted in hundreds of millions. After the 107th breath, Lu Sheng's 40 million strong army was completely wiped out. Freshman Lu Sheng of Z-Way Academy, Divine Kingdom Subject Strength Test concluded. Ranking range, 21,920,000. 22,190,000. Proceeding to the second trial, Divine Kingdom Defense Test. Would you like to begin immediately? Begin. At Lu Sheng's reply, the Z-Way battlefield shifted. No longer a mere virtual war simulator, it projected his small world in full. Resources, terrain, environment, and subjects were reproduced 1-to-1. Lu Sheng could still issue divine edicts to his people just as he did within his real divine kingdom. It felt as though he stood over his genuine small world. One can hardly imagine how many high-intelligence life forms must maintain this. Lu Shang clicked his tongue as he gazed down at the projected realm. The three top academies under Great Xia answered directly to Great Xia's highest governing body. Their wealth and authority far exceeded his prior expectations. Rumble. At that moment, hundreds of sky-splitting rifts ripped open around the small world. Countless myriad race armies poured through, charging straight for the divine kingdom. Aliens. Alien invasion. Report this to the whole realm at once. Call upon the supreme elders to intervene. Frontline estimates at least 10 billion alien creatures. Dispatch main realm troops for reinforcement immediately. 30 years of development had yielded primitive mechanical technology. Combat power remained quite weak, yet communication systems were well refined. Within 3 days, before myriad race armies even reached Yin Kingdom's borders, news of the invasion spread among all Divine Kingdom subjects, triggering emergency protocols. In this Divine Kingdom defense trial, the subjects played a huge role. So too did defensive structures, traps, and war machines. Unfortunately, Lu Sheng possessed none of these defensive measures. Before advancing to demigod status, Great Xia's Education Bureau protected students, making alien invasions of student divine kingdoms extremely rare. Most students focused on strengthening their subjects. Unless drowning in surplus funds, few invested heavily in defensive installations. Defensive structures also became obsolete over time. A structure invincible at the false god stage might not even withstand a single blow from a spirit transformation expert once one reached demigod rank. If Lu Sheng had been preparing for the National Academy exam, he might have purchased some in the final sprint. But his guaranteed admission spot made him set such matters aside. Priority went to earning money for development. And so, not a single defensive building existed within his divine kingdom. Not one at all. Thus, when myriad race forces invaded from every direction, Lu Shang's human troops could not hold such vast territory. Defenses sprang leaks everywhere, and massive hordes of aliens poured deep into the realm. Countless mechanical constructs were torn apart. High-grade resources were destroyed and looted. Valuable assets were stripped bare. The only thing slowing the alien plunder lay at 2 mineral veins. Or more precisely, the stonefolk. Roar. A force of mutated goblins broke through the blockade and charged into the mountain ranges. Following Z-Way battlefield parameters, they set about smashing spirit, or deposits, black basalt crystal stockpiles, and demolishing transport infrastructure. This sight enraged the stonefolk. Nearly a century of indoctrination by Yuzhou and others had planted a firm belief within them. Only by faithfully completing daily tasks for their god could they earn freedom after 10 years. The aliens were not merely damaging divine kingdom property. They were destroying the stonefolk's hope for liberty. Damn you lot. I've worked 9 whole years. I'm almost free. I won't let you bastards ruin everything. Many stonefolk had labored 8 or 9 years, freedom nearly within reach. They would not stand by and watch years of hard work be undone. This was bullying honest stonefolk. Normally timid by nature, they flew into a berserk rage. 8 massive stone arms swung wildly. One punch crushed one mutated goblin after another. In less than a single day, this invading goblin horde numbering over 10 million was utterly annihilated by the stonefolk. Thank the stones they didn't shatter the ore veins I dug. Damned heretics. Wasted so much of my mining time. If I miss this month's quota and my freedom gets delayed, I'll smash every last one of them to dust. For freedom. Back to mining. Yet the stonefolk's triumph was short-lived. As outer defenses collapsed and countless subjects perished, more and more aliens flooded inward. The stonefolk guarding the mineral veins could hold out no longer and fell one after another. Fallen stonefolk tried to regenerate through fission, only to be trampled flat by endless alien swarms until none remained. Freshman Lu Sheng of Z-Way Academy, Divine Kingdom Defense Test concluded. Ranking range, 27,910,000, 29,110,000. Combining results from the Divine Kingdom Subject Strength Test, calculating initial ranking on the Proud Talent Leaderboard. Calculation complete. Your initial Proud Talent Leaderboard rank, 22,937,319. Z-Way Academy has awarded 10,000 merit points. Would you like to initiate a Proud Talent Challenge? Friendly reminder. You may only challenge opponents whose rank lies within 10,000 places of your own. Upon entering the top 10 million of the Proud Talent Leaderboard, Special Academy rewards will be granted for every 1 million ranks gained. No. Lu Sheng declined further challenges and withdrew his consciousness from the Ziwei battlefield. He was satisfied with the outcome. Though over 22 million sounded enormous, one must remember, every intake at Ziwei Academy enrolled at least 10 million students selected for the Proud Talent Program. Thanks to Great Xia's balanced development policy, even remote star regions occasionally produced students admitted to the 3 top academies. Hence Ziwei Academy's immense student body. Furthermore, the Proud Talent Leaderboard ranked all students of Ziwei Academy. Lu Sheng competed not only against other guaranteed admission freshmen, but also upper-classmen. Some of those upper-classmen may have possessed inferior natural talent, yet they had access to strategic, grade resources on Ziwei Star and enjoyed extra years of development. It was only natural they performed well. After all, Lu Sheng had only advanced to demigod 1 month prior. Even his 5th-order subjects were still in their early power stages. Still, my divine kingdom defenses are abysmally lacking. Without strong subjects, I might not have even broken into the top 30 million. Lu Sheng frowned. Though his monthly income exceeded 1,500,000 wisps of divine essence, countless projects within his divine kingdom demanded funding. He had no spare capital to purchase defensive structures. Clearly, he could not rush his leaderboard progress. At that moment, his intelligent butler Xiao Fu stepped forward and reported, "Master, while you completed your Ziwei battlefield initial trial, your friend Pei Xiaogong sent a message urging you to hurry to Ziwei Academy's main gate. They are waiting for you there." "Understood. Send word back that I will arrive shortly." "As you command." Xiao Fu acknowledged and retreated to a corner. 10 minutes later, outside Ziwei Academy's main gate. "Brother Lu, you finally arrived. How did your initial Ziwei battlefield test go? What rank did you get?" As soon as Lu Sheng rejoined the 4 others, Pei Xiaogong hurried over, burning with curiosity. 22,937,319, Lu Sheng told him plainly. "What? 22 million plus?" Pei Xiaogong exclaimed. "Wow, Brother Lu, that's impressive. I reached demigod nearly 3 months ago and only barely squeezed inside the top 20 million. You only broke through 1 month ago, yet you landed this high." Gu Qinghan and the Fu siblings' expressions shifted. Their gazes toward Lu Sheng grew noticeably different. Each of them held a higher rank. Fu Qing, the strongest of the 5, was a second-turned demigod ranked 15 millionth on the Proud Talent Leaderboard. On paper, Lu Sheng was the weakest and least gifted of their group. Reality told another story. Every one of the other 4 hailed from Great Xia super clans. They enjoyed superior resources, superior environments, strategic, grade assets within their small worlds, and complete defensive installations. Advantages Lu Sheng, hailing from a remote planet, could never match. Moreover, all of them had reached demigod 1 or 2 months earlier, with nearly 60 extra years of divine kingdom development, fielding far more 5th-order subjects than Lu Sheng. Even so, Lu Sheng's rank was not far behind theirs. If they had started from equal backgrounds, the outcome would have been anyone's guess. Gu Qinghan praised sincerely. "Brother Lu, your natural talent is extraordinary. Every year, the 3 great super clans of Ziwei Star extend investment contracts to Ziwei Academy's Proud Talents. If you secure one, you might break into the top 10 million on the Proud Talent Leaderboard by your sophomore year." Fu Qing, normally quiet and reserved, nodded. "At this rate, we can assemble a joint army in our sophomore year and raid demigod, ranked alien territories together." Even Fu Jingjing, who had once looked down on Lu Sheng for his origins, set aside her disdain and treated him as an equal. Back aboard the Academy War skyship, they had drawn close to Lu Sheng, an A-list candidate, largely because no better A-list talents were available to recruit. Now they truly regarded him as their peer. Sensing the subtle shift in atmosphere, Lu Sheng smiled faintly. He cared little for it. In this world, genuine friendship was rare. Seemingly solid bonds often existed only because of shared interests. He thought of Zhao Mingjian. That fellow was straightforward and uncomplicated, and spending time with him had been easy. Half a month had passed since the National Academy exam. Scores should have been released already. He wondered whether Zhao Mingjian had gained admission to Fangtian University. As for Li Yang, who had once sworn to be his lifelong rival, Lu Sheng had long put him out of mind. "Brother Lu, have any corporations or clans reached out to you since arriving on Ziwei Star?" Pei Xiaogong reminded him with a grin. "Geniuses from minor planets like you are highly sought after targets. Aside from Ziwei Star's 3 great super clans, Be careful accepting offers from other forces. Many contracts carry hidden pitfalls. Thank you for the warning, Brother Pei. I shall stay vigilant. Lu Sheng's eyes lit up. Rather than corporate recruitment offers, I am far more eager to see Ziwei's trade district. Haha, then you're in for quite a sight. Come on, I've summoned a transport skysled. Let's head for the trade district. With our A-list candidate status, merchants won't dare cheat us. The trade district sat at Ziwei Star's heart. A gigantic modern metropolis filled with formal shops and street vendors, thronged with endless crowds. Every person present radiated formidable power. Unlike Blue Star, where even first-order true gods were rare, here in the trade district, Lu Sheng truly understood what it meant for demigods to walk the streets and true gods to fill the crowds. 99% of passers-by were demigods or higher. Many shop owners were third or even fourth-order true gods. Simply sitting within their premises, they exuded overwhelming aura. To occupy land for a shop in such a priceless location was itself proof of power. Listen everyone, as newcomers, we ought to stick to formal stores. Ignore street-side peddlers. Pei Xiaogong smiled and led them into a shop named Water Cloud Pavilion. Seeing the 5 visitors, 5 shop clerks hurried forward with broad smiles. Greetings, young Master Fu, young Miss Fu. Honored proud talents, please state your requirements. With your privileges, you may browse freely on the first and second floors of Water Cloud Pavilion. We carry wonders, rank and lower, grade buildings, spirit, plants, and far more. Noticing everyone's eyes turning toward him, Fu Qing explained, "This is my Fu clan's establishment." Realization dawned on the others. No wonder the clerks recognized them immediately upon arrival. It was family-owned business. Even within a great super clan, A-list candidate proud talents commanded considerable standing. Staff of clan enterprises were required to memorize the appearances of important clan members. My sister and I need resources to fill critical gaps in our development. We shall take our leave. Fu Qing nodded toward the group, then led Fu Jingjing toward the second floor. I require resources to permanently improve the aptitude of my human subjects. Do you carry such goods? Fu Qinghan asked the clerk. Indeed we do. Miss, please follow me. Pei Xiaogong followed another clerk deeper into the premises. Each of them had different races, development paths, and family backgrounds, so their required resources varied, sending them toward different sections of the vast store. The trade district and Water Cloud Pavilion were enormous, spanning over 10,000 square meters. Soon Lu Sheng lost sight of his companions. Honored sir, what are you looking for? The remaining female clerk smiled politely. May I look around first? Lu Sheng considered for a moment and replied. Though his funds were earmarked for investment, studying high-grade buildings' effects and applications would prove useful. Even if he could not afford them now, such knowledge would grant more options for future development. Certainly. The clerk smiled and gestured. Honored sir, Water Cloud Pavilion stocks every strategic-grade resource available for sale on Ziwei Star. This way, please. Lu Sheng nodded and followed her. First, the general goods section. These sell resources below A rank. As an A-list candidate, you likely hold little interest in them. Lu Sheng glanced across counters lined with brand-new gilded cards. Blue holographic projections hovered above each, clearly marking prices. The so-called conventional resources also include B-grade buildings like the Spirit Herb Garden, unavailable through the Smart Wrist Watch Mall, as well as rare familiars such as Elemental Envoys. The shop assistant was right. Such items were of little use to him and yielded minimal profit. He walked deeper and arrived at the section selling special buildings. Special building, source of anomaly, 120 strands of divinity. Special building, altar of rebirth, 350,000 strands of divinity. Special building, fountain of life, 135 strands of divinity. Special building, temple of resonance, 10 million strands of divinity. Special building, green lotus earth, core milk pool, 1,000 strands of divinity. Special building, faith conversion pool, 100 strands of divinity. Due to differing effects and spawning conditions, the price gaps between individual special buildings were staggeringly huge. The faith conversion pool, a building that can alter one's initial subjects? Lu Xing skimmed through each item's description. He recalled that back at Linhai Elite High School, Long Outyin had changed his subjects due to his talent, swapping dragonkin for humans. TSK, 310 billion faith points. Born into an ordinary family, even with an S-rank talent, Long Outyin would likely have faded into obscurity because his talent clashed with his subject's race. In Linhai City, No one would invest such enormous resources in an outsider genius. Young Master Lu, the resources here are all A rank and even S rank strategic assets, perfectly befitting your noble status. They wandered on and soon reached the innermost area of the first floor. Instead of fewer cards, far more were displayed here. A grade building. Tower of Healing, 10 strands of divinity. A grade building. Martial Arena, 70 strands of divinity. A grade building. Dragon Blood Pool, 300 strands of divinity. A grade building. Spirit Gathering Pagoda, 1,000 strands of divinity. A grade building. 100 Spirit Wood Grove, 3,000 strands of divinity. S grade building. Spirit Energy Refining Well, 130,000 strands of divinity. S grade building. Heavenly Eye, 3 million strands of divinity. S grade Spirit Plant, 10,000 year old elemental god tree, 5 million strands of divinity. S grade building. Thunder God Temple, 1 million strands of divinity. S grade building. Flesh Hive Matrix, for 1,500,000 strands of divinity. The Spirit Energy Refining Well costs a staggering 130,000 strands of divinity. Even considering inflated prices on Z-Way Star, the Linhai Municipal Education Bureau really went all out. Lu Xing thought in surprise. From what he knew, on remote star sectors like Blue Star, a first-order deity earned only a few thousand strands of divinity each month, most of which went towards sustaining their divine realm. Many did not even possess a single S-grade building in their own realms, yet one had been given to him. The people of the Linhai Municipal Education Bureau clearly harbored grand ambitions. After touring the whole first floor, Lu Xing turned toward the smiling shop assistant beside him. Recommend some resource-producing buildings. High profit, preferably simple to operate. Right away, the female assistant hurried forward and tapped the floating bluish-white projection. A building's name popped into view. Special building, Green Lotus Earth, Core Milk Pool. With ample ambient spirit, energy, and no extra labor required, the Green Lotus Earth, Core Milk Pool naturally produces 1 drop of Green Lotus Earth, core milk every 30 years. A high-grade elixir that washes marrow and rebuilds meridians. It also serves as core material for many superior pills. A single drop sells for 100 strands of divinity. Lu Xing's eyes lit up, but he held back and listened further. However, condensing Green Lotus Earth, core milk drains massive amounts of surrounding spirit, energy, and can severely destabilize a minor world's environment. We recommend purchasing supplementary buildings or spirit plants to boost your world's spirit energy density. Lu Xing asked cautiously. Is that all? The female assistant blinked, confused. That is all. Outwardly calm, Lu Xing almost laughed inwardly. This suited his strengths perfectly. Before acquiring the SSS rank trait Spirit Energy title Surge, his minor world already possessed nearly 100-fold baseline spirit energy density. Even after world expansion reduced it to several dozen-fold, it remained astonishing. After unlocking Spirit Energy title Surge, his minor world's spirit energy density had reached monstrous levels, hundreds of times the original baseline. And that concentration kept rising at a terrifying rate. Put plainly, his minor world lacked many things, yet spirit energy overflowed. No matter how voraciously the Green Lotus Earth Core milk pools consumed spirit energy, they could never outpace the amplification from his SSS rank trait. After Xiao AI ran quick calculations, Lu Xing acted boldly for once. Give me 2,500 units. According to Xiao AI's calculations, selling off the Spirit Honey Workshop freed enough space within his minor world for exactly 2,500 Green Lotus Earth Core milk pools. Without hesitation, Lu Xing sold the Spirit Honey Workshop and other surplus assets, gathering over 2.5 million strands of divinity to pour entirely into buying the pools. One pool generated 100 strands of divinity worth of output per month. 2,500 pools yielded 250,000 strands monthly. Multiplied by the 100-fold resource yield from the S-rank trait Myriad Abundance, monthly output soared to 25 million strands of divinity. Yes, 25 million strands of divinity every single month. To put this in perspective, even wealthy third-order true gods might not match his earnings. Such was the terrifying power of paired SSS rank and S-rank traits. Lu Xing was about to grow enormously wealthy. Instead of joy over such a large purchase, the female assistant looked hesitant. Lu Xing frowned. Is Watercloud Pavilion short on stock for the Green Lotus Earth Core milk pool? No, that is not it. Stock is available. The young female assistant nodded, then quickly shook her head. Young master, the Green Lotus Earth Core Milk Pool devours enormous volumes of spirit energy. Without supporting facilities, your divine realm risks collapse. I sincerely advise you, no need. Lu Sheng waved her off, not bothering to explain fully and offering a lie instead. My minor world possesses high-grade spirit energy boosting structures. These pools fit my divine realm perfectly. Very well. Pardon my overcaution. Please wait while I retrieve your order. Several minutes later, the female assistant returned carrying a box full of cards. Each card bore an emerald green background depicting a jade-carved circular pool, imbued with divine radiance. 2.5 million strands of divinity were transferred. The assistant could not help adding one final remark. Should you later require spirit energy augmenting buildings, please return to Watercloud Pavilion. As young Master Fu's associate, you qualify for minor discounts. Understood. Lu Sheng stored the cards within his divine realm space. Paying little mind to her words, he immediately deployed all 500 Green Lotus Earth Core milk pools inside his minor world. Within the minor world, boom, 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 2,500 Green Lotus Earth Core milk pools, each spanning over 100 square kilometers, crashed onto unoccupied land. Upon landing, each pool began greedily drawing heaven and earth spirit energy, conjuring 1,000-meter-wide spirit energy vortices. Even prepared, Lu Sheng felt a flicker of surprise at such ferocious consumption. Compared against his world's total spirit energy reserves, however, the drain was negligible. Spirit energy briefly drained from local areas was instantly replenished by surging, purer flows. Noticing growing numbers of human subjects drawing near the pools, some even jumping inside out of curiosity, Lu Sheng issued a divine edict. My people, these are Green Lotus Earth Core milk pools. Each yields 100 drops of Green Lotus Earth Core milk every 30 years. Assign personnel to collect and store all output uniformly. None shall consume it without my explicit command. Lu Sheng continued browsing Watercloud Pavilion and bought other mid to high-grade resources of lesser rarity, including spirit rice. As his subjects grew stronger, low-grade spirit rice had grown nearly useless to them. Breathing spirit energy proved more beneficial. 9 yuan spirit rice. Long-term consumption moderately improves comprehension, accelerates spirit energy absorption, purifies bodily impurities, and enhances innate aptitude. He also purchased Purple Cloud Spirit Rice, 9 Revolution Golden Ear Rice, Bloodsprout Spirit Rice, and more. For fewer than 100 strands of divinity, he acquired thousands of tons of seeds. With 100-fold resource amplification, food shortages would never arise. Additionally, he imported large schools of azure green dragon scale fish into his divine realm seas. Delicious and rich in innate spiritual power, they made excellent cultivation-enhancing meat. Thriving under favorable conditions, they bred, grew, and even advanced on their own, establishing a self-sustaining meat-producing resource to diversify food supplies. Everything looks great, yet so costly. Though his reserves were emptied, Lu Sheng kept reading item descriptions, growing increasingly tempted. He only tore himself away when Pei Xiaogong and the others emerged from their shopping. Who would have thought they even stocked the Flesh Hive Matrix? With this S-grade building in my minor world, I can build a complete war-fighting system. Come my treat today. Pei Xiaogong smiled broadly. Congratulations, Brother Pei. Gu Qinghan also wore a pleased expression, evidently satisfied with her purchases. Damn, he just dropped 4.5 million strands of divinity on the Flesh Hive Matrix. Being a direct line scion of a great family sure has its perks. Lu Sheng thought silently. Without his cheat-like traits, he might never close such a gap. As the group prepared to dine together, Fu Qing stepped forward, accompanied by a slightly flushed Fu Jingjing. He wore an apologetic look. My apologies, everyone. Jingjing and I still have unfinished business. We shall skip this gathering. Next time, the Dragonfish Restaurant, my treat. No worries. Attend to your affairs, Brother Fu. The three raised no objections. Once the Fu siblings departed, Gu Qinghan lowered her voice. Say, are Fu Qing and Fu Jingjing truly blood-related siblings? They act more like lovers. Pei Xiaogong stroked his chin thoughtfully. Cannot blood-related siblings also grow fond of one another? Lu Sheng. Gu Qinghan. Ha ha ha, just joking. Pei Xiaogong laughed, seeing their stunned reactions. Regardless, that is their private affair. Whether bloodkin or lovers bears no impact on our cooperation. Come on, the three of us can dine just fine. Having newly arrived on Ziwei Star, I am eager to sample local cuisine. After dinner, Lu Sheng returned to his lodging. He loaded all newly purchased resources into his minor world and closely observed ensuing changes. Ding! A notification chimed. Checking his smart wristwatch, Lu Sheng saw multiple new messages popping up within the long silent hall of God's group chat. Su Yun at Zhao Mingjian, you rascal. You scraped into Linhai Elite High last time, and now you scraped into Fengtian University by the skin of your teeth. Your luck is insane. Zhao Mingjian. I was intentionally controlling my scores, obviously. Lin He. Su Yun. Only those three chatted in the group. Where was Li Jiesin? He still remembered her well from past shared adventures. Lu Sheng typed casually into the chat. At Zhao Mingjian, congratulations, Brother Zhao, top university talent. Why is it only the three of you talking? Where is Li Jiesin? Zhao Mingjian. Please do not call me brother, I do not deserve it. As for Li Jiesin, she recently got married, and her family faces major troubles. She is most likely too busy to chat. Married? Unexpected, yet somehow predictable. Half of Li Pharmaceutical Group's true God-rank powerhouses had perished, and the remaining two did not have long to live. The Li family urgently needed capable successors. Lu Sheng pressed further at Zhao Mingjian. Do you happen to know whom she married? Zhao Mingjian. Not sure. I only know his surname is Li, and he graduated the same year as us. Same graduation year, surname Li? A strange sense of familiarity tugged at Lu Sheng's thoughts. Never mind, it does not matter. He shook off the thought. Though they had forged a bond exploring the poison mist world, their connection remained superficial. He might grant small favors, but he had no intention of propping up an entire collapsing clan. Lu Sheng sent a red packet worth 300 billion faith points into the group chat. Consider this my wedding gift for Li Jiesin. Please pass it along on my behalf. Zhao Mingjian. Holy hell, 300 billion? Su Yin? Lin He. In the days that followed, Lu Sheng closely monitored his minor world's development. Massive profits from the Green Lotus Earth Core milk pools allowed him to phase out most low-grade buildings. Take the B-grade feast garden of wine and flesh. Boosted by 100-fold spirit energy density, its output still paled compared to first-order azure green dragon-scale fish meat. Much like meat from fourth-order goblins, could not compare nutritionally to dragon flesh. For fewer than 1,000 strands of divinity per day, Lu Sheng fed all his subjects high-quality meat, rendering the feast garden wasteful of land. He replaced C-grade granaries with A-grade mechanical buildings, spirit energy preservation vaults. Spirit Energy Preservation Vault, constructed from multi-layer alloys and spirit wood insulation panels. Thousands of isolating barriers fill the interior. Spirit energy cores circulate constant temperature spirit energy through piping networks throughout the vault. Rot and spoilage are completely blocked. With sufficient power input, stored grain remains edible for at least 1,000 years. Price: 200 strands of divinity per unit. C-grade library buildings gave way to A-grade spirit energy data matrices. Spirit Energy Data Matrix, knowledge storage facility originating from high-order mechanical divine realms. Forged from hundreds of pure spirit stones woven into three-dimensional spirit energy matrices. Accessible via divine sense or divine realm networks. Ideal for divine realms merging cultivation and technological civilization. Draws geospirit energy to sustain operation. Best paired with A-grade spirit veins. Price: 10,000 strands of divinity per unit. Basic electronic networks already spanned his minor world. Subjects anywhere could pull up cultivation techniques, martial arts manuals, and craft knowledge remotely. Dedicated instructors analyzed technique details and uploaded instructional videos to accelerate learning and mastery. Integrating foundational technology lifted the overall power level of his civilization noticeably. C-grade waste conversion ponds were upgraded to A-grade recycle furnaces. Recycle furnace. Built-in spirit energy circulation systems transform all discarded materials within the divine realm, including domestic refuse, industrial byproducts, decommissioned machinery into reusable resources. Price: 150 strands of divinity per unit. Lu Sheng also exchanged rewards from the Academy Library for one S-grade building, the Heavenly Eye, costing 3 million strands of divinity, and placed it at the very center of his minor world. The Heavenly Eye resembled a tall spire. A 3-zhang diameter transparent crystal sphere floated at its apex, revealing intricate mechanical frameworks and circulating spiritual power within. The crystal sphere rotated 360 degrees, like a giant living eye scanning every corner of the divine realm. Heavenly Eye, when supplied with ample spirit energy, continuously monitors the minor world, predicts natural disasters, and issues early warnings. Automatically analyses, categorizes, and tags collected data, uploading compiled datasets to the Divine Realm Network. Emits active scanning pulses, No concealment method within the divine realm can evade detection. Lu Sheng refrained from over-deploying high-end mechanical buildings. His realm's technological development remained in early stages. Forced advancement would backfire. Solid foundations mattered most. Blessed by the trait diligence rewarded, technological bottlenecks held little fear. Once basic mechanical knowledge spread among his subjects, they themselves might invent superior machinery. 1 month passed, and earth-shaking transformations reshaped the minor world. Divinity ruler, Lu Sheng, divine rank, demigod, minor world area, 13,290,000 square kilometers, subject race, humans. Subject population, 119,167,329,691,802 fifth-order beings, 15,201,314 fourth-order beings, 51,003,409 third-order beings, second-order. Laws. Law of life, 9.9%. Innate traits, X rank. Trait Lord, Fusion SSS rank. Diligence rewarded, Spirit energy title surge. SS rank. Myriad abundance, Eternal War demon body, Divine realm forging, Wraith sovereign, long life vitality, Ancient beast physique, Array path master, Berserk war god, Lord of the earth. S rank. Beast king, Undying war emperor physique, Multitude races, Anomaly force, Utopian prosperity, Master forger. A rank. Tide walker, Legion's eye, Apex walker, Thunder war physique, Blood moon hunter. B rank. Civilization pioneer, wanderer. C rank. Shadow lurker, agile physique. Familiars, Elemental envoys 9,161 juveniles. Stonefolk 51,243 fourth order, third order. Ashstone goblins 91,113 fourth order, third order. Buildings, special grade green lotus earth core milk pool, S rank spirit energy refining well, S rank heavenly eye, A rank recycle furnace, A rank spirit energy data matrix. Assets, mid-sized spirit stone vein, 100,086 third-order Nightfall Griffins, first-order Azure Green Dragon Scale Fish. Divinity reserves, 19,140,000 strands daily tribute from subjects continues. Throughout that month, Trait Lord steadily generated new traits, which Lu Sheng processed using fusion. A rank 100 Battle Berserk Blood plus B rank Iron Blood Legion SS rank Berserk War God. Berserk War God. Combat grants permanent cultivation gains. Upon receiving fatal wounds and death, triggers brief pseudo-resurrection. All 6 core attributes double for a final desperate onslaught. E-rank Forest Hunter plus E-rank Night Vision plus E-rank Enhanced Smell A-rank Blood Moon Hunter. Blood Moon Hunter. All attributes rise by 50% at night. Stealth drastically improves under moonlight. Perception increases 500%. D-rank Metal Affinity plus F-rank Woodworking Dexterity plus E-rank Grip Enhancement plus E-rank Heat Sense S-rank Master Forger. Master Forger. Forging success rate rises 1,000%. Forging speed rises 1,000%. All crafted items gain spirit energy affinity, enabling faster mastery by wielders. C-rank Fleet-footed plus E-rank Resonant Throat plus F-rank Accelerated Metabolism plus F-rank Static Affinity E-rank Thunder War Physique. Thunder War Physique. Thunder attribute cultivation speed rises 1,000%. Probability of subjects bearing Thunder Spirit root descendants greatly increases. Grade D Environmental Adaptation plus Grade E Shoulder Stabilizing Power plus Grade F Pathfinding plus Grade E Earth Hearing Technique plus Grade B Earth Vein Energy SS Grade Lord of the Land. Lord of the Land. When standing on solid ground, your feet are as unshakable as bedrock. You cannot be sent flying or knocked over. All attributes increase by 1,000%. Cultivation speed of Earth attribute techniques rises by 1,000%. As your subjects grow stronger, you may actively reshape landforms. You will never lose your way. In the 281st year of the small world, the number of fourth-order living beings exceeded 10 million. There were more than 600,000 fifth-order beings, and the total population surpassed 100 million. In this year, a historic transformation took place in the environment of Lu Sheng's small world. Record. The spiritual energy concentration of your small world rises 10,000-fold. Your subjects cultivate faster, and the chance of high-grade resources appearing increases. Record. Due to overwhelmingly dense spiritual energy and exuberant life force, your small world has spontaneously spawned 10 special structures, fountains of life. Spiritual energy multiplied 10,000-fold. At this stage, even without actively drawing in spiritual energy through cultivation, spiritual energy drifts into cultivators' bodies of its own accord, quietly elevating their cultivation realms. In such an environment, breaking through becomes almost inevitable. Truly, one may cultivate merely by resting. Nearly 120 million people, setting aside infants and others unfit for cultivation. Close to 100 million are cultivators, while warriors number only a few million. Lu Sheng frowned slightly. The ratio between warriors and cultivators was terribly imbalanced. While heightened spiritual energy granted warriors many benefits, accelerating blood circulation, tempering internal organs, boosting cultivation speed, and so forth, these paled in comparison to the advantages enjoyed by cultivators. Furthermore, cultivators wield diverse abilities, arrays, talismans, spells without end. They moved with elegant poise and could easily overpower warriors of equal rank. Even Yin Kingdom's sovereign Xinyuan, alongside leading figures of the Void-Exalted sect, such as Elder Yu Zhou and Lin Mulan, were cultivators. Cultivation culture naturally won widespread admiration among the populace. Thus the saying spread through every street and alley. Better to be a low-ranking immortal than a top-tier warrior. The culture of the divine realm gradually tilted toward immortal cultivation civilization, and martial arts declined. There was little Lu Sheng could do. Though he longed for balanced all-round development, he could not control which traits the Trait Lord rolled out. After a quick glance across newly emerged spiritualized springs and fountains of life scattered throughout his small world, Lu Sheng turned his gaze toward the Void-Exalted sect. Once an immortal sanctuary seldom trodden by mortals, the Void-Exalted sect now teemed with people. Cities at the foot of its mountains overflowed with residents. All had come for the triennial military examination, jointly organized by Yin Kingdom and the Void-Exalted sect to discover talent across the divine realm. The military, in its name, referred not exclusively to martial arts, but to all forms of combat prowess. Both cultivators and warriors under 30 years of age qualified to take part. Candidates passed successive regional screening rounds before competing atop the peaks of the Void-Exalted sect to decide the examination champion. Past champions either became sect elders in seclusion or joined the Divine Realm military as elite generals, opening paths of boundless promise. It was the dream of countless young people. This was the eve of the finals for the 7th military examination. While the event thrilled the realm's inhabitants, Lu Sheng initially felt indifferent and had intended to pay it no mind. This time, however, things were different. One finalist was Yu Qingqing, youngest daughter of Yu Zhou, a heaven-blessed genius bearing a supreme grade with spiritual root. Her opponent was Qi Wu, born with a supreme grade earth spiritual root, who had nonetheless rejected immortal cultivation to walk the path of martial arts. Thanks to his heaven-ranked spiritual root, Qi Wu had carried towering expectations from parents and teachers since birth. Yet at a pivotal moment, he chose martial arts instead. His parents reproached him, his teachers sighed, and fellow students insisted martial arts held no future, urging him to return to cultivation. Against everyone's expectations, Qi Wu, once written off as self-destructive, advanced step by step all the way to the final stage, standing one step away from claiming the championship. Inside a residence of the Void-Exalted sect, Qi Wu lay on his bed, gaze drifting through the window toward far-off horizons. No warrior has ever claimed the military examination championship. If I can, I might fill that void. Noble ambition. Lu Sheng raised an eyebrow and opened his status panel. Subject, Qi Wu, race, human, gender, male, age, 27, spiritual root, supreme, grade earth spiritual root, cultivation arts, mount, sea martial cannon, wind, thunder leg technique, realm, third layer of martial king realm innate talents, primordial spirit, beast physique, eternal, battle demon physique, soldier, emperor indestructible body bone quality, heavenly, heaven grade bone quality. Surprise flickered across Lu Sheng's face. Bone quality ranked from heavenly, earth, mysterious, yellow down to ordinary. Previously, mysterious grade had been the highest attained. Not a single earth grade had appeared. Now a subject possessed heavenly grade bone quality. Little wonder he advanced faster even than those with supreme grade heaven spiritual roots. The next day, atop the Void-Exalted sect peaks, who do you think will become champion today? That goes without saying, Yu Qingqing. She is already a mid-stage nascent, soul cultivator wielding treasures bestowed personally by the sect's grand elder. There is almost no way she can lose. Who would have thought a warrior could reach the finals? Upon the massive arena platform, Qi Wu and Yu Qingqing stood on opposite sides. Before judges and hundreds of thousands of spectators across the divine realm, they announced their names. Qi Clan Qi Wu. Yu Clan Yu Qingqing. Yu Qingqing's features were elegant, yet her expression turned stern as she fixed her stare on Qi Wu. Qi Wu, Xiao Xiao sent you many letters hoping to connect with you. Why did you never reply? Matters between two people call for mutual willingness. I have every right to decline. Qi Wu remained calm. Today I shall teach you a lesson on Xiao Xiao's behalf. Begin. At the judge's command, Yu Qingqing's eyes sharpened. Her long sword hummed as it drew, and in an instant she closed distance, thrusting toward Qi Wu's chest. Her speed was so great most onlookers could barely follow her movement. And yet, the crowd fell into shock. Clang. Qi Wu stood perfectly still, making no attempt to dodge. The meticulously forged grade B spirit sword struck his chest, ringing like metal striking metal. Soldier, Emperor indestructible body, but he has not reached fifth order. How can he manifest it to such a degree? Lu Sheng, observing from high above, narrowed his eyes in astonishment. Through vast distances he observed Qi Wu's internal organs, flowing blood, and circulating spiritual energy. Qi Wu had created a body, refining technique perfectly suited to soldier, Emperor indestructible body. Through relentless physical training, he had shattered conventional bottlenecks. He was granted a physique comparable to grade B weaponry even at fourth order. What? Alarm flashed across Yu Qingqing's face. She tried to pull her sword free, only for a large hand to clamp firmly around it, holding it completely immobile. In the next instant, Qi Wu's palm etched with golden patterns shot forward and landed solidly against Yu Qingqing's face. Boom. A sharp crack echoed. Yu Qingqing's consciousness faded instantly. She flew thousands of meters backward and crashed heavily against the formation barrier, falling unconscious. The assembled spectators erupted in disbelief. How could such power belong to a warrior? Qi Wu is victorious. It seems another leading figure will soon rise within the divine realm. Lu Sheng was satisfied with the outcome. Monopolization of power brought no benefit. Diverse paths of growth were what he wished to nurture. Knock, knock, knock. A knock sounded at the door, followed by the voice of the artificial life, Form Xiao Fu. Master, a lawyer from the Morong clan has arrived. He wishes to discuss signing an investment contract with you. Shall you receive him? Morong clan lawyer? Lu Sheng furrowed his brow. Over the past month, numerous clans and corporations on Ziwei Star had extended offers. They offered scant divine essence while demanding heavy concessions. Even obscure minor companies demanded he serve them for 1,000 years once he ascended to true godhood. Lu Sheng would never accept investment contracts that shackled his freedom. Still, the Morong clan was one of the great super clans, and courtesy demanded he grant an audience. Show him in. Understood. Stepping out into the courtyard, Lu Sheng saw a formally dressed divine being waiting. His aura was comparable to Su Yuan's, roughly at the third order true god level. Greetings, young talent Lu. I am legal representative of the Morong clan, sent to present our investment proposal. Please review this preliminary contract. The Morong clan lawyer bowed politely and handed over the document. Though Lu Sheng had no intention of accepting, he took the contract out of respect for the super clan. Morong clan investment contract. Investment terms. Upon signing, the Morong clan shall immediately provide 10 million wisps of divine essence alongside 3 grade S structures, each valued at no less than 1 million wisps of divine essence. Thereafter, the Morong clan will invest 2 million wisps of divine essence each month throughout your studies at Ziwei Academy. You shall also receive 100-year ownership of a low-grade resource star. Should you achieve second transcendence before the start of your second academic year, investment shall increase and continue until graduation. Contract obligations. You shall join the Morong clan as an affiliated external talent. After graduation, you must serve within the Morong clan's extraterritorial armies for frontier expansion. A mutual defense pact shall be enacted. You must send troops unconditionally whenever the clan enters conflict, and surrender 30% of all resources you gather from frontier expansion over the next 100 years. Truly worthy of one of the 10 great super clans of Great Xia. The opening offer of 10 million wisps of divine essence was staggering, not to mention 100-year rights over a low-grade resource star. Resource stars were hazard, free sites endlessly generating wealth. A low-grade resource star rivaled a demigod small world. A mid-grade one equaled a lower-rank god. High-grade matched a mid-rank god. And top-tier compared to a high-rank god. Even with Lu Sheng's current earning capacity, such resources stirred temptation. Yet the obligations weighed heavily. Suppressing the stirrings of desire, he folded the contract. Forgive me, senior. I need time to consider this proposal. The confident smile on the Muron clan lawyer froze. He had not expected rejection. Is there some part of the contract that fails to satisfy you, young talent Liu? It is not dissatisfaction. I simply wish to avoid excessive restraints. Joining a super clan such as the Muron clan would subject him to constant constraints. Worse still, affiliation with a major house would drastically raise the risk of his multiple rare talents being exposed. Hiding one special talent was plausible. If 2, 3, or more surfaced, even Great Xia's laws offered no guarantee against human greed. The lawyer was displeased by this answer and spoke in a measured tone of caution. Young talent Liu, I must be frank. Even for ordinary grade, a candidate talents, few among the 10 great super clans would extend such generous terms. The Muron clan holds you in exceptionally high regard, hence this offer. Please think carefully. Fearing another outright refusal, he hastened to add another piece of information. Virtually every student admitted to Ziwei Academy, even grade C talents, secures investment from external powers. Should you decline all affiliations, you will fall far behind in resources. If you cannot reach second transcendence before your second year, your grade, a candidate rating may well be revoked. Talent alone was insufficient for growth within the divine realm. Without ample resource support, one's development would stall and widen the gap with peers. He hoped Lu Sheng understood this basic truth. The lawyer watched Lu Sheng's face, hoping for a change of heart. Lu Sheng gave his answer without hesitation. Senior, I bear no ill will toward the Muron clan. I am simply accustomed to freedom and have no wish to ally myself with any faction. Foolish. The lawyer frowned inwardly. A prodigy from an obscure background, blinded by arrogance from modest gifts. He cast aside genuine opportunities for an illusory concept of liberty. In time, when his classmates outstripped him, regret would follow. What a waste of an SS grade talent. Beneath his professional mask, he wore an expression of regret. If that is your decision, I shall take my leave. Should you change your mind in future, the Muron clan's door remains open. He kept one thought unspoken. Should Lu Sheng come begging later, terms would be far less generous. He turned to depart the courtyard. Boom. Just as he spun around, immense divine power fluctuations erupted behind him. Gales howled across the courtyard. The lawyer spun back, eyes widening in shock. Lu Sheng, previously at first transcendence, saw his life force surge visibly. Merely standing in place, he caused surrounding plants to thrive. Grass shot upward, vines climbed, blossoms showered down. Every branch grew with wild, exuberant vitality. Impossible, barely 2 months have passed, the Muron clan lawyer gasped. Ignoring him, Lu Sheng directed his awareness into his small world. While they had conversed, multiple subjects had reached the peak of soul transformation. Supported by heaven rewards diligence, more than a dozen of them had successfully broken through to void, refining realm. Not bad. Lu Sheng was surprised yet unsurprised. His subjects possessed top-tier innate gifts, feasted on high, grade spirit grain and spirit flesh, and breathed 10,000-fold amplified spiritual energy. To him this rate still felt slow. He had simply not anticipated so many breakthroughs occurring all at once at this exact moment. Growing accustomed to his elevated power, Lu Sheng lifted his head and met the lawyer's stunned gaze with a faint smile. My apologies. I seem to have broken through inadvertently. It appears my grade, a candidate rating, should remain secure for some time yet. The lawyer quickly rearranged his features into a polite grin. Young talent Liu, perhaps certain clauses within our initial contract were inappropriate. Allow me to report back to the clan and revise the proposal. Professionalism overcame wounded pride. Potential rewards outweighed personal embarrassment. Lu Sheng held firm in his refusal, and the lawyer departed in genuine disappointment. Lu Sheng watched his retreating figure, eyes narrowing. My current growth rate can still be explained away by my SS grade talent, but soon my rate of improvement will accelerate even further. Thankfully, spiritual energy revival has advanced into SSS, grade tide of spiritual energy. If my true pace becomes known, observers will likely blame errors from artificial life form detection systems. After reviewing the newly advanced void refining cultivators, Lu Sheng boarded transport for the trade district. 1 month of development had left him with a large reserve of divine essence. Wealth meant nothing without deployment. Honored sir, how may I assist you? Give me 500 grade, A9, tier alchemy towers, and 500 grade, a martial training grounds. Also 100 wonders Yellow Springs body, refining pools, 500 wonders fairyland of Penglai, 1 grade, A mechanical heart, large, scale spirit, stone vein, spirit, alloy, or vein. 100 grade, S spiritual, energy refining wells as well. Apart from retaining more than 100,000 wisps of divine essence for emergencies, Lu Sheng spent every remaining wisp purchasing structures and resources to develop his divine realm. Returning home, he instructed Xiao AI to deploy them. Boom, boom, boom. Thousands of structures materialized simultaneously. The entire small world shook, then underwent earth-shaking transformation. Deployment was not simple dumping. Careful placement mattered. 500 and one fairyland of Penglai were linked together. Isolated immortal mountains merged into one vast jade, green continental mass. Waterfalls of condensed immortal mist hung overhead, strands drifting down to nourish all living things below. Immortal mist blended with surging spiritual energy beneath the surface, forming towering clouds of spiritual power. These columns of energy lifted the jade, green continent free of the ground, suspending it high in the sky. Staircases woven from spiritual, energy clouds led toward the floating fairylands, freeing up vast stretches of surface land. New mountain ranges rich in or were placed at the heart of the small world, connecting with pre-existing mid-scale spirit, stone vein, and black tortoise crystal vein for the stone, folk, and ash, stone goblins to mine and forge. 9-tier alchemy towers and martial training grounds occupied little ground and were scattered across every city, accessible to local armies and alchemists. The most profound change came with installing Mechanical Heart. Mechanical Heart, core organ of a mechanical civilization, grants sentience and will to mechanical constructs, accelerates self-improvement and evolution of mechanical creations, allows mechanical weapons such as mechs to develop independent consciousness, optimizes combat logic, analyses data, and accumulated experience. In appearance, it resembled a giant heart. Integrated into the divine realm data network, it spread across countless mechanical creations, slowly endowing them with awareness and life. Machinery innovated itself without human input, and overall work efficiency surged. For developing a mechanical civilization, the mechanical heart was practically indispensable. Once Yellow Spring's body, refining pools, and spiritual energy refining wells were all positioned, available land across the divine realm was fully occupied. No further large-scale installations could fit. Subjects across the small world sensed these cataclysmic shifts. Many knelt prostrate, shouting in unison, "We thank our God for these bountiful blessings." There is no more usable space on land, and the sky cannot be utilized for the time being. Only the ocean still holds potential for development. Lu Sheng stared at his small world, lost in thought. During a lecture at the Ziwei Academy, an instructor laid out a comprehensive development plan for the human divine realm's resources, dividing the small world into 3 regions: the sky, the land, and the ocean. Each zone could support distinct industries, generating 3 separate streams of revenue. Land was the easiest to develop, followed by the ocean, with the sky ranked last. Within Lu Sheng's small world, the skies were occupied by floating continents formed by the Penglai Wonderlands, while the surface held the green lotus earth heart milk ponds and numerous spectacular constructions. Hardly any vacant space remained. Only the ocean, which made up nearly half the area of the small world, hosted nothing but a school of azure dragon fish, with no industrial chain established. As for the D-grade spiritual plant Iron Sea Vine, its returns were far too low, so Lu Sheng had sold off all of his stock. Once I fully develop this region, my income will surge once again. The power of all creation abundance applied to every form of industry. On land, space had to be reserved for his subjects and retainers to grow, leaving less than half the land available for development. The ocean was a different story, with nearly 100% usable territory. If developed properly, his monthly revenue might even break the 100 million mark. A few days later, after harvesting another batch of green lotus earth heart milk, Lu Sheng headed to the trading district once more. Cloudwater Pavilion. Lu Sheng wasted no time and asked the clerk he had traded with before, "Do you have any ocean-focused investment opportunities?" "We certainly do." Happy to receive her regular customer, the female clerk summoned a projection and quickly explained. Currently, there are 3 major categories of ocean investments on the market. The first is raising azure dragon fish, which requires the special construction koi coral for moderate returns. The second is crimson jellyfish cultivation, relying on the special construction crimson waters. The crimson aura they emit distorts the minds of living beings, making breeding and harvesting extremely difficult. They are extremely scarce on the market right now, bringing enormous profit margins. The third option is dragon turtles. Their flesh is rich in spiritual energy and exquisite to consume, and their turtle shells can be refined into medicines or high-grade defensive artifacts, offering moderate returns. However, they have an extremely long growth cycle and can only be harvested once every 300 years. After hearing the three proposals, a thought flashed through Lu Sheng's mind. He suddenly recalled possessing the trait health and longevity, which granted immunity to all abnormal status effects. That meant the negative side effects of the crimson aura would mean nothing to him. Filled with excitement, Lu Sheng discarded the other two options and urged her, "Tell me everything about the crimson jellyfish cultivation program." A perfect match for his capabilities. To be accurate, Lu Sheng simply mastered such a wide range of skills that he always found an advantage no matter what opportunity arose. The female clerk intended to warn him how terrifying the crimson aura truly was, but she remembered that this customer had once purchased 2,500 green lotus earth heart milk ponds in one go, and she held back her words. Crimson jellyfish only carried risks, yet the green lotus earth heart milk ponds posed a threat of permanently ruining a small world's environment. If he dared to use those, he would not fear this danger. She steadied herself and continued her explanation. The flesh of crimson jellyfish exudes an eerie crimson aura. Any living being exposed to it will suffer restlessness, irritability, and mental confusion. For this reason, their flesh holds little value. Countless juvenile crimson jellyfish can be bought for just one strand of divinity. The truly valuable commodity is the gallstone that only mature crimson jellyfish develop deep within their bodies. Consuming it can slightly boost a being's mental power. Each gallstone is worth one strand of divinity. She paused briefly, a flicker of longing crossing her expression before she composed herself and went on. A single crimson water's special construction can hold up to 100,000 juvenile crimson jellyfish. They mature within 30 years and are then ready for harvesting, generating an annual profit of 1.2 million strands of divinity. If one ignores the interference caused by the crimson aura, few marine investments can match the profits from selling gallstones. How large an area of ocean does one crimson waters require? Lu Sheng asked. It needs a sea territory of at least 100,000 square kilometers. Lu Sheng immediately began calculating. Setting aside inland rivers, the interconnected ocean areas of his small world spanned 6.5 million square kilometers, enough space for 65 crimson waters constructions. At full capacity, over 30 years within his divine realm, he could harvest 6.5 million gallstones, equivalent to 6.5 million strands of divinity. Under the amplification of all creation abundance, this profit would multiply 100-fold, translating to 650 million strands of divinity earned each month in the real world. Truly staggering. Lu Sheng was glad he had rejected the Murong clan's investment offer. Binding himself to them for a small amount of capital would have been a terrible loss. The returns from the green lotus earth heart milk ponds are comparable to crimson jellyfish, but I lack sufficient land space to build more. Lu Sheng sighed inwardly. Whether investing in green lotus earth heart milk ponds or breeding crimson jellyfish, his ultimate goal was earning divinity. Yet what was the purpose of accumulating divinity? At the root of it all, he sought to raise the strength of his subjects. If he had abundant resources, he would not purchase a single green lotus earth heart milk pond or crimson waters at all, profitable as they were. Honored guest, one crimson waters special construction costs 1 million strands of divinity. If you purchase over 100 units, you qualify for a 9.9 discount, and we will supply your first batch of juvenile crimson jellyfish free of charge. The clerk offered a generous promotion. Lu Sheng's mouth twitched. 100 crimson waters would cost a full 100 million strands of divinity. Even during his largest previous purchases, he had never possessed that much capital. Also, did she understand what a proper discount was? Deliver 5 crimson waters first, along with enough juvenile crimson jellyfish to stock them for the first year. Lu Sheng said slowly. Right away, after returning home, Lu Sheng placed the crimson waters inside his small world. 50,000 square kilometers of ocean was instantly dyed crimson. Beneath the waves, countless dark red vein-like structures slowly drifted, pulsing rhythmically like capillaries drawing breath. An unsettling aura permeated the surroundings. When 5 million juvenile crimson jellyfish were released into the waters, the surging crimson aura spilled beyond the boundaries of crimson waters, spreading toward other regions of the small world. Whoosh! Yet the ultra high concentration of spiritual energy struck back immediately. The crimson aura had barely escaped its territory when violent spiritual energy tempest shattered it, then swept inward into the crimson waters. In an ordinary cultivator's small world, establishing crimson waters with such a massive jellyfish population would inflict irreversible damage to the realm. Within Lu Shang's small world, however, it was the crimson waters construction that endured the backlash. Hundreds of thousands of crimson jellyfish perished instantly. I did not expect this outcome. Lu Sheng quickly intervened, stabilizing the spiritual energy density around the 50,000 square kilometer crimson waters zone to balance the crimson aura. He prevented the crimson aura from leaking outward while stopping spiritual energy from flooding inward. At this pace, I can fully populate the waters within a month. Lu Sheng smiled with satisfaction. He relayed relevant orders to Xiao AI, then turned his gaze toward the edge of his small world. A towering great wall was rising there at that moment. Although the battles on the Ziwei battlefield were fought through projected consciousness, the crushing defeat against foreign races made Xian Yuan, Yu Zhou, and the others realize how inadequate their divine realm's defenses were. 10 years prior, the divine realm launched the Great Wall Project. All the most skilled architects were summoned to the border. Their single objective: construct a 100,000-kilometer-long Great Wall to seal off the border battlefield. Empowered by divine realm engineering, countless mechanical constructs and master architects worked ceaselessly. In less than 10 years, the Great Wall had begun to take shape. Lu Sheng suspected that within 100 years of time flowing in his divine realm, he would complete this massive defensive structure without needing to buy prefabricated fortifications. Once finished, the last weak point of his divine realm would be fully reinforced. For the next 10 days, Lu Sheng remained in his courtyard. He traveled to the trading district repeatedly to buy more crimson waters, steadily expanding his sources of income. Divinity: Lu Sheng. Divine rank: 2nd tier demigod. Small world area: 13,340,000 square kilometers. Subject race: humans. Subject population: 158,125,367 cultivators at Void Refinement Realm. 9,136. Spirit Transformation Realm. 1,912,501. Martial Emperor. 3,192. 4th Order Creatures. Laws: Law of Life, 10.3%. Law of 5 Elements, 0.6%. Innate Talent: X. Rank Lord of Traits. Retainers: Elementals Adults, 170. Juveniles, 210,631. Wonders: Punlai Wonderland times 501. Constructs: Special Construct Green Lotus Earth Heart Milk Pond times 2500. Special Construct Crimson Waters times 25. S. Grade Construct Spiritual Energy Refinery, well times 100. Assets: S. Grade Spiritual Plant World, Aged Elemental Divine Tree. Crimson Jellyfish times 6, 500, 000. First Generation Functional Robots times 5, 000. Divinity Reserves: 3,100,000 strands. Subjects provide 13.1 strands daily. Alongside the continuous growth of his divine realm's assets, Lu Sheng's greatest surprise was comprehending a new law, the Law of 5 Elements. He could now wield metal, wood, water, fire, and earth to cast divine arts, drastically boosting his combat strength in the real world. Thud, thud, thud. Just then, his artificial steward Xiaofu hurried over to deliver a reminder. Master, all recommended students and freshmen of Ziwei Academy have arrived at Ziwei Star. The Academy has released an official announcement. The Freshman Grand Tournament will commence in 3 days. Please prepare in advance. Ding, ding, ding. Shortly afterward, messages popped up in the 5-person group chat founded by Pei Xiaogong. Pei Xiaogong at everyone. You all received the news, right? The Freshman Grand Tournament starts in 3 days. The 5 of us will team up, strive to secure a top 100 ranking each. Fu Qing agreed. Our divine realms possess different traits, and our strengths complement one another. We can occupy a crystal node and steadily hunt foes. Gu Qinghan, I comprehend the law of time. I can briefly accelerate the flow of time around me. My direct combat power is limited, but I excel at support. Pei Xiaogong, I have just advanced to 2nd tier, and my comprehension of the law of void stands at 5%. The group chat buzzed with conversation, yet Lu Sheng read the messages in slight confusion and typed out a question. Brother Pei, what exactly are the rules of the Freshman Grand Tournament? The moment his message was sent, the endlessly active group chat fell silent. Several seconds passed before new messages appeared. Pei Xiaogong. Gu Qinghan. Even the reserved Fu Qing sent a rare question mark. Pei Xiaogong. Brother Liu, have you been living like an ascetic monk? You have attended the academy for over 2 months and never checked the freshman group? Wait, could it be you haven't even joined the official freshman group? He attached a wide-eyed emoji, confused face, to express his astonishment. Ahem. Lu Sheng felt slightly embarrassed. These 2 months I have been fully focused on developing my divine realm and improving my power, so I have paid little attention to announcements. Pei Xiaogong was utterly speechless. Brother Liu, you are truly an extraordinary person. Gu Qinghan. Brother Liu, I have sent you an invitation to the official academy freshman group. The tournament rules are pinned at the top. Read them carefully. Lu Sheng quickly replied. Thank you, Miss Gu. I will treat you to a meal sometime. He accepted the invitation sent via message and joined the group named Ziwei Academy First Year Freshman Group, which boasted tens of millions of members. Compared to the small 5-person chat, thousands of messages flooded this group every second. One could not follow the conversation without actively filtering the feed. I am a grade B Heavens chosen with healing, aligned laws. I can act as a healer. Anyone looking for a teammate for the grand tournament. Seeking a teammate with a physical body talent demigod. Message me privately if interested. Why must we new students take part in this tournament immediately? The recommended students have already studied at Ziwei Academy for 2 months. This is unfair. Who told you the world owes you fairness? A mere grade, C Heavens chosen has no right to complain. Endure it if you cannot accept it. Lu Sheng opened the pinned official notice. Announcement of the Freshman Grand Tournament. Participants. All first-year students of Ziwei Academy, including recommended entrants. Tournament rules. The physical forms of all freshmen will be projected onto the virtual divine continent created by Ziwei Academy. The land teams with foreign false gods and demigods. Slaying them earns points. False god, 1 point. First-tier demigod, 1,000 points. Second-tier demigod, 10,000 points. Third-tier demigod, 100,000 points. 100 divine crystals will be scattered across the divine continent. Holding a crystal continuously for 1 month grants an immediate bonus of 1 million points. However, anyone carrying a divine crystal will be marked, and all participants will know their exact coordinates. Participants may attack one another. If you shatter an opponent's virtual divine body, you gain half of their total points, while the defeated contestant is eliminated from the tournament early. Tournament rewards. Ranks 1001 to 10,000. 1 million strands of divinity, 1S, grade construct. Ranks 101 to 1,000. 10 million strands of divinity, 3S, grade constructs. Ranks 11 to 100. 50 million strands of divinity, 3S, grade constructs. 1 supreme, azure void fruit. Ranks 1 to 10. Exclusive academy rewards. A battle waged between gods themselves. Surprise flickered across Lu Sheng's eyes. Most competitions required contestants to send their subjects to fight. This was the first time he encountered a contest demanding the gods enter combat personally. The difference was not overly significant, however. A god's strength stemmed from 3 sources: subjects, innate talents, and the power of laws. The strength of one's subjects exerted the greatest influence on a god's power. The stronger the subjects, the stronger the god. Innate talents essentially served to strengthen subjects, which explained why gods with combat-oriented talents usually outmatched those with non-combat talents of the same rank. Laws functioned as additional skills that consumed energy, linked to innate talents and the environment of the small world. All these factors combined to determine a god's overall combat capability. Where do I stand among demigods? Lu Sheng pondered silently. Blessed by countless advanced traits, the subjects within his small world possessed power far beyond ordinary standards. His own strength rose steadily every passing moment. Now he had comprehended a second law. If both sides held the same cultivation rank, even those so-called grade, a heavens chosen might not be his match. Ding, ding. New messages appeared in the group chat. Fu Qing at everyone. Let us gather and discuss plans for the freshman grand tournament. Dinner is on me. Pei Xiaogong. Sounds good. I am hungry. Gu Qinghan. Another free meal. I cannot wait. Pei Xiaogong. Miss Gu, you have more than enough resources. Why do you always take advantage of us? It will be your turn to treat next time. Gu Qinghan. Once you have enjoyed enough free meals, you will understand this pleasure. Lu Sheng sent a simple okay. He tidied himself up and left to meet the others. Brother Liu, you have advanced to 2nd tier? The instant they laid eyes on him, Pei Xiaogong and Fu Qing who were also second-tier demigods, sensed his aura and stared in shock. Pei Xiaogong felt the greatest astonishment. Though Lu Sheng possessed two talents, Pei Xiaogong had always believed he was no weaker. As a direct descendant of a powerful clan, he had access to far more resources than Lu Sheng. Yet despite all his advantages, Lu Sheng had caught up to him. Pei Xiaogong would never have believed this without witnessing it personally. Brother Lu broke through to second tier. Fu Jingjing and Gu Qinghan reacted a beat later, eyes wide. During their earlier chat, the group had assumed Lu Sheng had only recently become a demigod and wielded the law of life. Their original strategy assigned Pei Xiaogong, Fu Qing, and Fu Jingjing as the main fighters, Gu Qinghan as support, with Lu Sheng taking on a supportive healing role. It seemed their plans needed adjustment now. Dragonfish Restaurant, third floor private room. Once everyone was seated, Pei Xiaogong and the other three exchanged glances, then turned to look at Lu Sheng with curious expressions. Gu Qinghan studied Lu Sheng and sighed with emotion. Brother Lu truly deserves his reputation as a genius rising from a remote region. I thought you extraordinary when we met on the flying ship, but your progress exceeds all my expectations. If you achieve great things in the future, do not forget about us. Pei Xiaogong frowned with curiosity. Could it be that Brother Lu accepted investment from a great clan such as the Fu clan, Moron clan, or Qing clan? The other three nodded in agreement. After arriving at Ziwei Star, strategic resources were abundant, like paradise for talents from remote lands. Accepting investment from powerful clans would trigger explosive growth and strength. Lu Sheng's tremendous progress must have come from receiving substantial investment. However, Lu Sheng's reply left them completely stunned. Many organizations and clans have approached me seeking cooperation, yet I turned them all down. Lu Sheng stated honestly. Huh? What? The group was confused. While contracts from major powers carried strict obligations, they also supplied abundant investment capital that offered enormous support in the early stages. Even without the backing of powerful clans, they would still have signed the deal. That's simply my nature. I detest being restricted. Joining a major clan would only become a burden to me. I don't mind developing at a slower pace. You call this slow? Gu Qinghan rolled her eyes. Different people have different aspirations. Since Brother Lu has chosen to turn down investment, he must hold tremendous confidence in himself. Come, try this blood spirit wine, a specialty from my divine realm. Congratulations to Brother Lu and Brother Pei on advancing to second-tier demigod. Fu Qing could tell Lu Sheng had no wish to dwell on the topic. He waved his hand, and 5 wine jugs materialized on the table, summoned from his divine realm. He invited the others to drink and took the first sip himself. 10,000 strands of divinity per jug of blood spirit wine. Wow, Brother Fu is incredibly generous. Seeing this, Pei Xiaogong and Gu Qinghan dropped the subject. They each grabbed a jug and drank eagerly. Curious, Lu Sheng picked up a jug and took a sip. Boom. The moment the liquor slid down his throat, violent energy erupted like a breached flood, surging through his meridians. After only a small mouthful, his cheeks turned faintly flushed. Only the craftsmanship of the mechanical divine realm can produce such potent spiritual wine. It's just a shame it costs so much. Otherwise, I would drink it every single day. Pei Xiaogong wiped his lips, thoroughly satisfied. He glanced at Lu Sheng and teased. Brother Lu, is this your first time drinking blood spirit wine? Don't overindulge. The first time I tried it, I only drank half a jug and got dead drunk. Others had to carry me back. Gu Qinghan curled her lips. Do you think everyone's a heavy drinker like you? Lu Sheng merely smiled and said nothing. The wine was indeed extremely strong. The first mouthful felt slightly uncomfortable, yet that feeling faded quickly. Within seconds, his body fully digested the raging energy. Beyond resource-oriented innate talents, he possessed numerous combat talents, all raised to high ranks after undergoing fusion. Correspondingly, his physical body far surpassed Pei Xiaogong, Fu Qing, and the others. He could easily down 8 or 10 jugs of this spiritual wine in one go without feeling the slightest intoxication. Everyone, our goal for the Freshman Grand Competition is definitely to secure a spot within the top 100. If anyone has a solid plan, let's discuss it now. Midway through the meal, Fu Qing's expression turned solemn as he shifted the conversation to the upcoming tournament. We will spend 3 months inside the Divine Continent during this competition. We need to carefully plan our travel route, conflicts against foreign and fellow gods, and methods to seize divine crystals. The Divine Continent was a virtual realm crafted by advanced intelligent life forms under Ziwei Academy. Time flowed differently here. 1 day in the outside world equaled 1 month within the Divine Continent. Though the official competition lasted only 3 days, every deity would genuinely experience 3 months within the realm. It was a long-term trial, making thorough planning essential. With our team's strength, 3 second-tier demigods and 2 first-tier demigods, we rank firmly among the upper echelons of Grade A candidate teams. We could simply collect 5 divine crystals. Even if we do nothing else, we will safely claim a top 100 ranking once the competition ends. Pei Xiaogong put forward a plan. Brother Pei, that strategy is straightforward but far too risky. Fu Qing shook his head before Pei Xiaogong even finished speaking. We can form teams, but so can other outstanding talents. From what I know, every year many powerful experts ally with large groups of lower-ranked prodigies. Instead of hunting foreign demigods for points, they specifically target anyone holding divine crystals. Carrying 5 divine crystals at once draws far too much attention. We will easily become the target of such groups. I see. Pei Xiaogong stroked his chin and thought for another 2 seconds before an idea struck him. Then what if we stay on the outer regions of the divine continent and hunt Grade B and Grade C prodigies for points? Fighting Grade A candidate teams carried great risk, but targeting lower-ranked talents would drastically reduce danger. Most Grade B and Grade C prodigies were still false gods. Against their demigod squad, those opponents would be completely helpless, like sheep awaiting slaughter. Brother Pei, we only receive half the points if we slay Grade B and Grade C prodigies, who mostly hunt false god-ranked foreign deities anyway. How many points can we possibly earn this way? Can you come up with something practical? Gu Qinghan complained, rolling her eyes again. She then turned toward Fu Qing. Brother Fu, I recall you comprehend divination-type laws. What if we avoid collecting divine crystals entirely and push deep into the central region? As long as we carry no divine crystals and stay cautious with your divination, we ought to avoid encountering other students. When the final phase arrives and competition turns fiercest, we can retreat from the central zone to the outer areas and seize points from surviving lower-ranked prodigies. After over 2 months of survival, they should have accumulated plenty of points. Qinghan has a sharp mind. This method may not generate points quickly, but it's reliable. Fu Qing's eyes lit up with praise. Lu Xing also voiced his approval. I think this plan works. Ziwei Academy's top 10 rankings were almost always claimed by Grade A prodigies. Chasing first place was unrealistic. But if they competed normally against other Grade A candidates and avoided being surrounded, their chances of entering the top 100 remained high. Lu Sheng held modest expectations. Unable to think of a better alternative, Pei Xiaogong wholeheartedly agreed. Yet Lu Xing sharply noticed Fu Jingjing's subtle reaction when her brother praised another girl. Her gaze sank imperceptibly, and her lips formed a faint pout. The change was incredibly subtle. Without Lu Sheng's spiritual power far exceeding ordinary second-tier demigods, he would never have spotted it. Once they finished eating and drinking, the group departed. After returning to the academy, Lu Sheng did not head to his courtyard residence. Instead, he traveled toward a floating island beneath the obelisk. He still possessed one remaining entry token for the Ziwei secret realm. Originally, Lu Sheng planned to use it once his law comprehension hit a bottleneck. But with the freshman grand competition drawing near, boosting his strength had become a priority. The freshman grand competition was far more than an ordinary assessment for first-year students. High-level academy officials would closely observe every contestant's performance. Exceptional results might alter his prodigy rating and bring additional academy resources and guidance. The more time he spent with Pei Xiaogong and the others, the clearer he understood the immense advantages brought by resources, vision, and connections. As long as he retained his freedom, he would never pass up any opportunity to climb higher. All structures within Ziwei Academy appeared close to one another, yet countless spatial laws separated them. The distances were vast enough that even a demigod like Lu Sheng would require days to traverse on foot. The academy had accounted for this. Spatial teleportation arrays were established across every zone. Travelers only needed to pay the corresponding divinity or academy credits to activate them. Having previously visited the treasury to exchange for an S rank building, Lu Sheng quickly completed the procedure. 1 academy credit deducted. Remaining credits, 99.97. Light surged, and Lu Sheng was teleported onto a floating island. Hundreds of massive star gates dotted the land, stretching as far as the eye could see. So many secret realms. Lu Sheng marveled inwardly. Secret realms formed when countless true gods perished, triggering the collapse of innumerable laws. These unique spaces aided deities in comprehending laws or accelerating their progress. True gods commanded profound foundations and were notoriously difficult to kill. Mass simultaneous deaths of true gods rarely occurred outside the outer battlefield, making such secret realms extremely rare. Yet Ziwei Academy possessed dozens of them. This was the foundation of a top-tier academy. Whoosh. Shortly after Lu Sheng arrived, a male true god materialized before him with a gentle tone. "Student, please present your identity token." "Very well." Lu Sheng nodded and took out the token. Verifying identity. Verification complete. Grade A candidate prodigy, first year student of Ziwei Academy. Remaining Ziwei Secret Realm entries. 1. As the automated voice announced the information, the male true god returned the token and smiled. "Student Lu, secret realms corresponding to every type of law exist within the Ziwei Secret Realm. If you only wish to raise comprehension in a specific law, enter the matching star gate. If you cultivate multiple laws, proceed to star gate 001. It contains tens of thousands of law fragments, beneficial for advancing all varieties of laws. No matter which secret realm you enter, the realm's rules will expel you automatically after 3 hours. Please keep track of your time." "Thank you for the reminder, Senior." Lu Sheng located Stargate 001 and stepped inside. The next instant, he arrived in another space. Tap. No solid ground existed here. Instead, an ocean of luminescent matter rippled upon his arrival, each wave shimmering with countless profound runic fragments. Countless crystalline dust particles floated in the void, refracting light of varying laws: golden, red flame law, deep blue water law, emerald life law, iridescent five elements law. Tens of thousands of radiances intertwined into a vast starry sea enveloping the entire space. The moment he stepped inside, streams of law radiance surged toward him and flowed through his body. Radiance belonging to the life law and five elements law merged into his inner world upon entering, fusing with the laws he already wielded. Within mere minutes, his comprehension of the life law and five elements law rose by a full 0.1%. The Ziwei Secret Realm's effects are this astonishing? Lu Sheng was stunned and swallowed hard. It explained why even grade A candidate prodigies received only one entry per year. Its power was simply overpowered. If he could gain more opportunities, he might fully comprehend complete laws before entering his second year. Focus. Time is limited. Calming his excitement, Lu Sheng took a deep breath and stretched out both hands, actively grasping the crystalline dust to absorb it into his body. Fragments of life, metal, wood, water, fire, and earth laws were absorbed directly. Other law fragments entered his body, lingered for a while, and were eventually expelled. Not every law fragment resonated with him. Comprehension and mastery of laws depended primarily on the environment of one's inner world and innate talents. For example, a deity with the rapid regeneration talent and a vibrant, spirit-rich inner world would easily comprehend the life law. A deity born with fire element affinity and an inner world filled with volcanoes and magma, saturated with fire elemental particles, would effortlessly grasp the flame law. Most deities possessed only a single innate talent, which was why the majority mastered merely one law. Lu Sheng was different. He held numerous talents, meaning theoretically, there was no upper limit to how many laws he could comprehend. Nevertheless, constraints such as environmental conditions and his inner world's carrying capacity lowered this number considerably, which explained why many law fragments could not be absorbed. At present, Lu Sheng's inner world benefited from the SSS, rank Spirit Tide, alongside lower-tier modifiers including C, rank Balanced Four Seasons, and C, rank Fertile Earth's Blessing. Its environment surpassed that of any other demigod. Coupled with modifiers such as Prosperous Peach Blossom Land and Vital Longevity, life energy flourished endlessly, explaining his rapid progress in the life law. Only 2 months after advancing to demigod, his comprehension reached 10%. In contrast, Pei Xiaogong had only reached 5% 4 months after becoming a demigod. Lu Sheng also possessed many modifiers related to metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. Thus, his five elements law advanced equally quickly, rising even faster than the life law due to his lower baseline mastery. After 1 hour, life law at 15.1%, five elements law at 7.9%. After 2 hours, life law 17.8%, five elements law 10.1%. He awakened a third law, the strength law. When the 3 hours ended, life law 21%, five elements law 13.6%, strength law 4.3%. Poof. As time expired, the secret realm trembled, and Lu Sheng was ejected in the blink of an eye. My strength has multiplied at least tenfold after this trip. Lu Sheng wore an excited expression. He retrieved a high-density alloy ore from his inner world and gripped it gently. Crack. The ore crumbled into fine powder under his grasp. 3 laws. The life law sustained endurance, the 5 elements law delivered versatile attacks, and the strength law empowered close quarters combat. I lack nothing now. Lu Sheng felt the endless surging divine power within him, confidence swelling in his heart. Ordinary deities struggled to comprehend even a single law. Yet as a second-tier demigod, he had mastered 3, each with substantial comprehension levels. Even his weakest law, the strength law, was nearly on par with Pei Xiaogong's void law. The other 2 were far superior. Within the second-tier demigod realm, he stood unrivaled. Meanwhile, good news arrived from Linhai City, hundreds of thousands of light years away. As the video call connected, Lu Tianxing and Wang Ning appeared on screen with bright smiles, looking in excellent condition. Son, your father's held this position for 100 years, and today I've finally been promoted. 3 consecutive rank jumps at once, higher than Uncle Zhao now. And guess what? The mayor of Linhai City, someone I once only saw on broadcasts, personally met us. He granted us nominal official positions and gifted several A-rank buildings. I once thought my path ended here, yet now I have a new chance to advance to true God. Lu Tianxing spoke excitedly, talking nonstop. His status rose purely because of his son. Once, as a 5th-tier demigod, he was merely an ordinary company executive. His friendship with Zhao Ding allowed him a comfortable life, yet further advancement was impossible. Everything had changed. Thanks to his son, his rank jumped multiple tiers, his earnings multiplied dozens of times, and he resided in a luxurious mansion. Thanks to his son, even the 3rd-tier true god mayor of Linhai treated him with great respect. Thanks to his son, the 5th-tier demigod realm was no longer his limit. Becoming a true god was now within reach. It's all because our son is outstanding. Compared to Lu Tianxing's excitement, Wang Ning remained calmer. She took the communication device and asked with concern, "Son, how are you getting on there? Is the food to your taste? Don't push yourself too hard at the academy. Rest well. Living far from home is different from staying with us. Don't be overly competitive. I've heard many students at Ziwei Academy come from powerful clans. Safety comes first. Your father and I hold high, relaxed positions now, earning billions of faith points every day. Stop sending us money constantly. You will have many expenses at the academy, so keep enough funds for yourself." Wang Ning rambled on, chatting about daily trivial matters for a long time. Lu Tianxing occasionally interjected. Lu Sheng did not grow weary and responded now and then to show he was listening. Inside Ziwei Academy, his thoughts constantly revolved around strengthening his divine realm, maximizing gains through modifiers, crafting higher-tier modifiers, and growing stronger. His divine realm developed rapidly under countless modifiers, requiring regular long-term planning. Even with Xiao AI assisting in management, it consumed massive energy. Chatting with his parents lightened his spirits immensely. Seeing their lives improve filled him with genuine joy, even more than the moment he comprehended the strength law. "Dad, Mom, don't worry about me. Your son is a grade A candidate prodigy, after all." Lu Sheng patted his chest confidently. Grade A candidate? The couple looked confused by the unfamiliar title. Simply put, it means I rank highly among all students of Ziwei Academy. No one dares to bully me. That puts our minds at ease. Wang Ning nodded, then suddenly thought of something. She glanced past Lu Sheng's shoulder and asked, "By the way, son, have you found a partner yet?" Lu Tianxing winked playfully. "Son, seize the opportunity now. Any young woman at Ziwei Academy comes from an influential clan. If you build a close bond with one, you'll have access to endless resources for the rest of your life." "Don't say that." Wang Ning tapped his head. She turned back and spoke earnestly to Lu Sheng. "Son, I'm not rushing you to settle down. As deities, we possess lifespans stretching through eternity. Matters of companionship can wait, and your father and I will not interfere. You may decide things at your own pace. But as your father implied, powerful clans value interests above all else. Emotional connections often take second place. Consider what you truly want and never make hasty decisions." "I understand, Mom." Lu Sheng nodded seriously. Year 297 of the small world, the day after the feast. Following diligence rewarded by heaven and spiritual energy title surge, Lu Sheng finally obtained his 3rd SSS tier trait, Mechanical Era. Mechanical Era unique. Removes the evolutionary ceiling for mechanical life. The development of mechanical civilization faces no bottlenecks. Upon entering the mechanical era, a mechanical civilization exclusive to your will shall manifest within the small world. A mechanical heavenly Tao forged from absolute rationality will take shape. As technological advancement within your godhood rises, the computing power of the mechanical heavenly Tao will grow alongside it, with theoretically no upper limit. Development within the mechanical era is not static. As the technological threshold and civilization coverage expand, the pace of progress can peak at 1,000 times the initial rate. His third SSS, tier trait, and one tailored to advancing mechanical civilization. Cultivation, martial arts, machinery, he now possessed trait support for all three paths of development. What exactly is the mechanical heavenly Tao? Confusion stirred within Lu Sheng. Boom. The moment mechanical era materialized inside the small world, every living being, citizens, retainers, and neutral creatures alike, felt an almighty gaze descend from the endless firmament. They lifted their heads, only to behold a vague, shapeless silhouette radiating boundless authority. All dropped to their knees, unable to bear the divine pressure. At the same time, Lu Sheng's consciousness descended into the small world. He stared at the floating mass of light before him. So you are the mechanical heavenly Tao? Unlike the subjects below, he was the ruler of this world. This entity was merely a manifestation born from one of his traits, allowing him to perceive its true form clearly. Still, he had not expected the heavenly Tao to look like this. The light cluster trembled faintly, and a voice identical to Lu Sheng's emanated from within. To be precise, I am a derivative of your will stripped of emotion, bearing the combined computing power of the entire world. I can control all intelligent life forms within the small world simultaneously. Upon your command, I generate optimal plans, run simulated projections, and outline the most probable costs and gains. As an avatar of your will, I also wield partial divine authority. I may issue divine edicts on your behalf, govern the godhood, command armies. I am capable of executing nearly every task within the small world in your stead. Lu Sheng had a sudden realization. You are essentially a fusion of all varieties of intelligent life? That assessment is inaccurate. The light cluster continued to vibrate. Intelligent life forms have fixed upper limits, yet I can evolve infinitely alongside the mechanical civilization of your small world. Furthermore, I hold absolute loyalty to you. What do you mean by that? Lu Sheng frowned. Even with regulation from the Great Xia government, no connection to a network can guarantee complete secrecy. Even intelligent life programmed with one-time codes carries a minuscule risk of leaking information about the small world. With my birth, all intelligent life within the small world falls under my oversight, eliminating any possibility of such accidents. The light cluster's tone remained calm, devoid of any emotion. Very well. Let me witness what you are capable of. Lu Sheng stroked his chin and issued an order. Analyze the current state of the small world and immediately formulate an optimal development strategy. After only a single second of pause, the light cluster delivered its conclusion. Based on your current collection of 201 innate traits and the present conditions of the small world, the calculated optimal path lies in pursuing integrated development of cultivation and mechanical civilization. Spiritual energy density within your small world already exceeds the baseline by 10,000-fold and is rapidly advancing toward immortal energy. Martial arts and cultivation civilization have fallen drastically out of balance. In the future, the divide between martial artists and cultivators will continue to widen. Even exceptional martial talents, such as Qi Wu, will be unable to reverse the systemic disadvantage of this developmental branch. Your most viable path forward is mechanical transcendence. As a derivative of Lu Sheng's rational mind, the mechanical heavenly Tao existed without emotional bias and naturally possessed full knowledge of all his traits. This was no disadvantage. On the contrary, without understanding the functions of each trait, it could not grasp the full picture, leading to flawed decision-making. Still, Lu Sheng wished to understand the reasoning behind this conclusion. He raised his gaze. Explain in detail. A tripartite system where martial artists, cultivators, and mechanical life coexist is theoretically viable. However, martial arts and cultivation operate under vastly different developmental ecosystems. Even individuals of Qi Wu's caliber cannot bridge the gap between the two combat systems, nor can they bolster one another. Additionally, Qi Wu's emergence was a stroke of temporary luck. Statistically speaking, the number of comparable prodigies born within the cultivation civilization will outnumber martial arts prodigies by hundreds, even thousands of times over. Rather than squander resources sustaining independent martial arts civilization, integrate martial arts into the body refinement disciplines of cultivation to shore up weaknesses in spiritual energy, physical training. The light cluster carried on. Vitality martial arts and spiritual energy cultivation are two separate systems. Merging both with technological advancement demands double the resources, yet yields a combined effect of less than the sum of its parts. You may hold hope that new physique, enhancing traits will emerge in the future. Even so, cultivation civilization is far more inclusive. The same traits will deliver equal or vastly greater benefits to practitioners of spiritual energy body refinement than vitality martial arts. Within my compiled data, countless well-resourced prodigies once attempted to practice multiple disciplines simultaneously. They possessed ample resources to sustain parallel development, yet all eventually consolidated their power into a single unified system. Do you understand why? Lu Sheng fell silent. Truth be told, he had never considered matters to such depth. His original thinking was straightforward. With such an extensive collection of traits, he ought to maximize the potential of every single one, ensuring every subject's talents were fully utilized. The light cluster hovered in the air. The familiar voice sounded strangely alien. Ignoring Lu Sheng's silence, it continued its explanation. You command a vast array of traits, spanning far beyond martial arts, cultivation, and machinery. You could easily branch into ghost subjugation, arcane magic, alchemy, and more. But is there value in spreading your focus so thin? Mastery of multiple combat systems grants versatility against diverse threats. However, if these systems cannot complement one another, diverting resources across many paths will leave you far weaker than concentrating all those same resources into a single direction. Lu Sheng began to grasp the logic. It reminded him of the cultivation novels he had read in his past life. Protagonists with 5 spirit roots required dozens of times more resources to advance each realm, though their combat strength grew steadily. If those resources were channeled into a practitioner with a single spirit root, that cultivator would break through to the next major realm and possess the power to crush them utterly. Arguments about unlocking greater potential held no weight here. With diligence rewarded by heaven, a trait that defies conventional logic, Lu Sheng already faced no inherent upper limit. To gain something, you must first relinquish something. The light cluster trembled again. Given your available resources, the optimal strategy is full-scale investment in cultivation civilization, accelerated through mechanical technology, rather than blind pursuit of balanced development. Your current objective is to attain the rank of grade, a heavenly talent of great Xia. Secure sufficient resources and authority to feed back into your godhood, forming a positive feedback loop that maximizes trait utilization. To shorten this timeline as much as possible, you could leverage Berserk War God and Eternal Battle Demon physique to invade foreign gods' domains and sustain your growth through warfare. This approach carries substantial risks. I will not invade foreign gods' domains. Lu Sheng waved a hand decisively. He was merely a second-tier demigod with no powerful backing. If the foreign deity he attacked summoned a fifth-tier demigod ally, he would face annihilation. He would only consider such actions once he reached the fourth tier or even fifth tier, after constructing impenetrable defensive infrastructure within his godhood capable of overwhelming hordes of enemies. No amount of potential profit could tempt him before that point. Proceed with your plan. Hand all small world development matters unrelated to high-risk operations over to you. Do not disappoint me. Having witnessed its capabilities, Lu Sheng opted to delegate authority. Specialized work ought to be entrusted to specialized entities. No matter how much he studied, his knowledge could never match the mechanical Heavenly Tao's instant database scanning, precise analysis, statistics, and projections. At the same time, Lu Sheng could not help but marvel at its convenience. Its arrival eliminated the cost of hiring high-level planners and purchasing intelligent life forms, while also erasing potential security risks. Previously, hiring a planner had only cost several hundred million faith points, seemingly inexpensive. But the small world had been far smaller back then, with very few advanced constructions. Recruiting a senior planner now would likely cost thousands, even tens of thousands of strands of divinity, a considerable expenditure. He also saved countless hours of study, freeing up time to attend to matters in the real world. When Lu Sheng woke the next morning, sweeping reforms were already underway within the small world under the mechanical Heavenly Tao's direction. After the divine edict was issued, martial artists who had believed Qi Wu's victory in the martial tournament heralded a new golden age for martial arts were devastated. They were required to abandon vitality martial arts and transition to spiritual energy body refinement. Yet they soon noticed an unsettling truth. Cultivating their bodies with spiritual energy progressed far faster than refining themselves through vitality. Infuriating. They had no desire to change paths, yet their bodies instinctively adapted to the new practice. Elsewhere, micro-management from the mechanical heavenly Tao drastically boosted productivity among the small world's mechanical life forms. Master, large numbers of cultivators within your small world have undergone prosthetic modification. It is recommended to purchase 1 million Reeling Brain computer interfaces for data monitoring. Master, the efficiency of 100 Crafts Workshop is insufficient. I have arranged for all of them to be sold. It is advised to acquire 100S rank constructions, femtometer printers, capable of mass-producing femtometer-grade weaponry. Master, spiritual energy production within the small world far exceeds demand. Purchase a rank construction spirit energy converter to cut mechanical development expenditure by 30%. Master, spirit bell milk yields poor returns, and spirit blossom sprites are far less useful than spirit farmers within the current cultivation civilization framework. Recommends selling both. Lu Sheng had overlooked countless such inefficiencies in the past, yet the mechanical heavenly Tao's immense computing power identified every shortcoming instantly. As he watched his small world transform at breathtaking speed, Lu Sheng busied himself coordinating adjustments. Time flowed swiftly until the commencement of the freshman grand tournament. His identity token vibrated, and a cold mechanical voice echoed out. The freshman grand tournament begins. All freshmen must enter the Z-Way battlefield within 1 hour. Failure to comply will result in disqualification. It's finally here. Excitement flickered across Lu Sheng's face. He did not rush to enter the Z-Way battlefield immediately. Gripping his identity token, he set off to meet Pei Xiaogong and the others. According to senior students' experience, if teammates stay close when entering the Z-Way battlefield, their spawn points upon teleportation to the God Continent will be nearer to one another. This was the primary reason so many competitors chose to ally. Come on, hold hands as we enter the Z-Way battlefield. Fu Qing held his younger sister with his left hand and stretched his right toward Pei Xiaogong and the rest. Do not let go once inside. A second teleportation awaits within the Z-Way battlefield. The group nodded and quickly linked hands. The order was Gu Qinghan, Lu Sheng, Pei Xiaogong, Fu Qingqing. Once they confirmed they were all connected, the five focused their mental power on their identity tokens. Their consciousnesses were instantly drawn into the virtual space of the Z-Way battlefield. Upon arrival, they were met by a sea of people. Z-Way Academy boasted tens of millions of students and occupied an enormous territory. Each cohort was assigned a separate zone, leading to different virtual transfer hubs. Lu Sheng glanced around. At least 10,000 competitors occupied this zone. Most were false gods, with only a small number of demigods. Through sensing via his token, he determined the majority were Grade B heavenly talents, alongside several others sharing his status as Grade A candidates. His previous ranking in the Z-Way battlefield had rested above 20 million, yet those opponents were upperclassmen who had possessed small worlds for 2 years. Every rival in this freshman grand tournament was a fellow freshman. That said, his true competitors were the 10,000 Grade A candidate prodigies, plus fewer than 5 Grade A heavenly talents. Among gods, the gap between major realms was as vast as heaven and earth, nearly impossible to overcome. Even a coalition of numerous false god prodigies stood no chance against a newly advanced first-tier demigod and would be slain without resistance. Lu Sheng waited quietly for an hour. At last, an emotionless broadcast echoed from the void. This freshman grand tournament will last 3 months. 100 god crystals are scattered randomly across the god continent, marked on the global map from the start of the event. Upon entering the god continent, you will gain access to a real-time virtual panel displaying god crystal locations and the overall score rankings. High-ranking academy officials will observe the competition. Exceptional performance may adjust your heavenly talent rating and unlock exclusive academy investment packages. Once the countdown concludes, freshmen from all zones will be teleported to the God Continent simultaneously. 59, 58, 57, 56. The moment the countdown began, Lu Sheng felt Pei Xiaogong and Gu Qinghan's hands tighten slightly, fine beads of sweat forming on their palms. The freshman grand tournament represented opportunity not only for talents originating from remote regions like him, but also for members of powerful clans. It determined potential and whether clans would continue pouring resources into them. Powerful clans operated by cold calculation. Compared to the massive profits generated by the 10 great super clans, the prizes for the top 100 competitors were trivial. This tournament was merely an assessment, a test to prove whether one merited sustained heavy investment from the clan. Yet Lu Sheng harbored no resentment toward this system. From another perspective, he too was demonstrating his potential to the Great Xia government, striving to obtain greater resources. 1. The countdown ended. The entire space spun violently. Light engulfed tens of millions of freshmen, and one after another, they vanished from the Z-Wave battlefield, outer region of the God continent. When the spatial shift ceased, Lu Sheng opened his eyes to a vast, dense forest. Not a single person was in sight. What's going on? Has the trick failed, or did I simply get unlucky and spawn far away? Crack. As Lu Sheng pondered, soft footsteps sounded from deep within the nearby woods. The noise was faint, yet his enhanced senses picked it up. Influenced by Ruler of Wraiths, the spiritual power of his small world subjects had multiplied tenfold, which in turn amplified Lu Sheng's own spiritual perception. Have I encountered a foreign deity immediately after teleporting? Lu Sheng's eye sharpened. He raised his hand and unleashed a streak of golden radiance. Boom. A giant tree 3 meters thick was sliced clean through. Swoosh. A phantom figure darted out from behind the tree, transforming into a fleeting silhouette that closed the distance to Lu Sheng in an instant. Claws swiped, tearing the air, cold glint aimed straight for vital points. The creature's form came fully into view. A foreign deity, a werewolf. Humph. Faced with the werewolf deity's lightning, fast strike, Lu Sheng did not even lift an eyelid. He merely stamped his foot on the ground. A thunderous crash echoed. The earth before him split open, soil exploding as a golden, tipped earthen spike shot upward, intercepting the charging beast mid-leap. Uffed. The spike pierced effortlessly through its torso. Blood gushed freely. The werewolf let out a final wail and perished. The werewolf arrived, and the werewolf fell. At the same time, a light screen materialized before Lu Sheng's eyes. Killed werewolf clan false god. Points +1. Real, time leaderboard rank 1. Lu Sheng, 1 point rank 2. Qin Baisheng, 1 point rank 3. Li Jie, 1 point rank 4. Wang Yuhao, 1 point. Fitting to claim first place. Still, the tournament had only just begun. Rankings meant nothing now, and he would inevitably be overtaken soon enough. His priority remained rendezvousing with Fu Qing, Pei Xiaogong, and the others, then advancing swiftly toward the central region. A sudden premonition stirred Lu Sheng. He dismissed the virtual panel and twisted sharply toward one direction. Someone was approaching. Without hesitation, he swept both arms, unleashing dozens of razor-sharp golden slashes that traveled hundreds of meters in the blink of an eye. Simultaneously, the ground trembled. Rows of metal-edged diamond-shaped earth spikes hovered in the air, launching toward the incoming figure as one. That was not all. Lu Sheng held one palm above the other, creating a narrow rift. Scorching heat billowed out from the void, coalescing into a ferocious giant serpent that roared forward. In the span of a breath, waves of attacks descended upon the newcomer. Damn it! The figure shouted in alarm, hastily tearing open a spatial rift to barely block the golden slashes. However, he was still engulfed by the earth spikes and fire serpent. Boom! A pillar of flame erupted into the sky, staining the heavens crimson. Still alive. Powerful spiritual scanning detected a faint lingering aura. Lu Sheng summoned a dozens-meter-long greatsword of light, ready to deliver the finishing blow. Brother Lu, hold your hand. A frantic voice rang out from afar. Lu Sheng turned to see Gu Qinghan racing toward him, channeling the power of time to accelerate her movement as she called out. Wait. Lu Sheng abruptly realized something was wrong. He dispelled the light greatsword in an instant and darted into the charred crater. There lay a figure blackened by fire, barely recognizable as human. He waved a hand, sending a stream of water washing over the body. The face came into clear view. Pei Xiaogong. Lu Sheng's heart sank, an awkward expression creeping onto his face. Trouble. He had nearly slain his own teammate. Damn. Staring at the charred, unrecognizable figure of Pei Xiaogong on the ground, Gu Qinghan could not help letting out an exclamation. At the same time, a deep sense of shock surged through her. Pei Xiaogong was a second-turned demigod who had comprehended 5% of the Void Law. The Void Law was a high-tier law, boasting superb capabilities in concealment, evasion, defense, offense, and more. Few rivals could match him within the same realm. Yet when facing Lu Sheng, who had only just broken through to second turn, he had been instantly defeated. While the element of surprise played a part, there was no denying that Lu Sheng's comprehension of laws far surpassed Pei Xiaogong's. It was very likely higher than 10%. What's going on? Fu Qing and Fu Jingjing arrived one after another, staring curiously at the blackened figure on the ground. After taking a closer look, Fu Qing let out an incredulous shout. This is Pei Xiaogong. How did he end up in such a state? I sense the flame law and the metal law. Wait, why are there traces of so many elemental laws? Did you run into other students? No. Gu Qinghan shook her head with difficulty. Lu Sheng mistook Pei Xiaogong for an alien deity and accidentally struck him. After being teleported to the godly continent, Fu Qing had used his law power to deduce the positions of his 4 teammates and found Pei Xiaogong and Gu Qinghan first. The three then split up. Fu Qing went to look for his sister, while Pei Xiaogong and Gu Qinghan set out to find Lu Sheng. They never imagined that even from such a great distance, before they could pinpoint Lu Sheng's exact location, he had unleashed the metal law followed by a quick sequence of attacks and instantly overwhelmed Pei Xiaogong. I see. Hearing this, Fu Qing's eyes were filled with growing astonishment. His expression was even more stunned than when he learned Lu Sheng had broken through to second-turned demigod. He knew Pei Xiaogong's strength well. His void law was extremely tricky, and even Fu Qing would have to exert tremendous effort to defeat him. But the battlefield before them showed no signs of a prolonged, fierce fight. It looked more like a one-sided crushing victory. Fu Qing asked in confusion, Lu Sheng, have you comprehended other laws as well? I visited the Ziwei secret realm before the grand competition. I was lucky enough to comprehend the 5 elements laws. Lu Sheng lied without the slightest hesitation. Incredible. Fu Qing gave him a thumbs up, unable to conceal his awe. With your talent, Lu Sheng, you might very well rise to become a grade, a heavenly chosen one in the future. It must be known that even among the candidates for grade, a status, Pei Xiaogong stood out as an elite. Despite having far inferior resources, Lu Sheng had caught up and crushed Pei Xiaogong. His natural gift likely exceeded the standard of grade, a candidate heavenly chosen once. Promotion to grade A was within reach. Perhaps after this new student grand competition, the higher-ups of Ziwei Academy would take notice of him. Gu Qinghan sighed in admiration. Lu Sheng's talent is truly terrifying. Brother, haven't we forgotten something? At that moment, Fu Jingjing tugged at Fu Qing's sleeve and pointed at the barely breathing Pei Xiaogong on the ground. He's about to die. Reminded by Fu Jingjing, everyone turned their attention back to Pei Xiaogong on the ground and looked toward Lu Sheng. They had not forgotten that he was originally known as a healer. At the same time, Lu Sheng sent a wisp of pure primal life force into Pei Xiaogong's body. The moment the primal life force touched him, layers of charred, dead skin flaked off his body. Fresh flesh and blood rapidly regenerated underneath, and he soon recovered completely. The agony on his face faded, and his breathing steadied. Finally, his eyelashes trembled, and he slowly opened his eyes. When he saw the 4 familiar faces before him, he tensed up at once and warned urgently, "Run! There's a monster here!" As he spoke, he channeled his power, preparing to tear open the void and flee. Snap! Fu Qing grabbed his arm with a helpless look. Pei Xiaogong, there's no monster here. You don't understand. Before I could see anything, I was engulfed by multiple streams of law power and defeated in a single strike. It must be a grade, a heavenly chosen one. If we don't run, we'll all perish. That was Lu Sheng. Fu Qing twitched his mouth and explained. Pei Xiaogong froze. He slowly turned around and saw Fu Qing and the other 2 staring at him with helpless expressions. Lu Sheng scratched his head, avoiding eye contact awkwardly as he stared off into the sky. What a lovely sky. Pei Xiaogong. 10 minutes later, the 5-member team set off toward the core region. Only Pei Xiaogong kept glancing at Lu Sheng with a look of lingering resentment. An awkward silence hung thick in the air. This atmosphere lasted until they encountered their first group of alien stone deities. Damned humans, they have come again. Cut them to pieces, they cannot be forgiven. Kill them, kill them, kill. Boom, boom, boom. The ground shook violently. More than 100 towering stone figures emerged from the soil. Letting out furious roars, they charged toward the 5 with all their might. These were captured alien deities. After all, deities were valuable resources. Not only could their minor worlds be used as examination grounds for academy students, the deities themselves could be reused time and again. Their true divine bodies were imprisoned by Ziwei Academy in the real world. Yet their consciousnesses were forcibly projected onto the godly continent. Time and time again, they endured the pain of being slain by first-year students. They could do nothing to resist. Moreover, if they so much as thought of slacking off, true gods from Ziwei Academy would unleash terrifying punishments that left them in endless agony, forcing them to keep fighting. Year after year, their hatred for humanity had grown to a pathological extreme. Since they could not rebel, They would do everything they could to inflict suffering. To Fu Qing and the others, such thoughts were merely foolish. These alien false gods had mostly yet to grasp law power. How dared they seek to overthrow human demigods? Fu Qing let out a cold snort. He stepped forward first. Divine power surged in his palm, and with one punch, he shattered more than a dozen 3-meter-tall stone deities rushing at the front. Faced with the assault from the remaining stone figures, he sensed their intentions early and merely shifted sideways to evade every attack. A sweeping kick followed, blowing apart another dozen stone deities. As the bearer of the rank talent wisdom goddess, the law power he wielded possessed the ability of deduction and foresight, allowing him to perceive every enemy's next move, making him immensely powerful. Behind him, Fu Jingjing took a deep breath. A violent gale instantly erupted with a howl. Scores of alien stone false gods were torn apart by the wind. They were reduced to dust that drifted into her mouth. She smacked her lips, seemingly dissatisfied with the taste of the stone deities. Fu Jingjing actually consumed deities for sustenance. Pei Xiaogong and Gu Qinghan refused to fall behind. The former tore open the void, teleporting behind a stone deity in the blink of an eye and crushing its head with a single blow. The latter manipulated the power of time, slowing the flow of time around approaching stone figures while remaining unaffected herself. For a moment, every member displayed extraordinary prowess, each demonstrating their unique strengths.